Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Hold on, let's see if I can hear it again. You left your speakers
I
on
left them on,
downstairs.
yeah.
Yeah. Whoop. I don't know. I don't think the microphone can pick that up.
Probably not.
Probably not. Just got home. Perfect timing. How's it going, Firebug? Okay, that's there. I need to... Okay, it's working. Every time Joe goes live, it's like Christmas. Even for these boring Q&A streams, damn. That's nice of you. All right, that's over there. Streamlabs is open. That's our chat window. I need to move Discord so you can read Discord too.
Good morning from Russia.
How's it like in Russia right now?
Probably very cold, right?
Probably, yeah. Well, it depends where in Russia, right?
Yeah. I think they still get it more than we do.
Yeah.
Where we are here,
well,
at least.
Depends in Canada too, right? Like Canada and Russia both stretch pretty far north, and we're on as south as we can get. Okay, one more. There we go. TJSTT just subscribed for 26 months. Heyo, love these streams. Great for falling asleep. Resident sleeper kappa. Exactly. Right now it's too quiet. All right. How's the game's music? Is it okay? Probably the controller's louder than anything. Enjoying your break? I mean, not really. It's just a break from stream, so I'm still doing Witcher work. Like all the hours I would have went into streams are just going into Witcher work. So, I mean, it's a break from streaming, but that's the only break it's from.
Oh yeah, it's the quotations.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to streaming on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to trying the Star Wars game out. I've heard pretty good things about it, so apparently it's a little like Sekiro, so I'm interested. Sekiro. All right, I need some pumpkins. Do I have any pumpkins? Are we growing pumpkins? We have. Oh, we have 3 gold star pumpkins. I hope we have some pumpkins growing down there. You okay?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reorganizing here.
Okay. Hence the quotations, yeah.
Hey Lily, how are you guys? We're good. We're okay. How are you?
Quality fertilizer.
I'm looking forward to the Elden Ring trailer at the VGAs. You gonna stream that?
Is there one? Is there an Elden Ring trailer at the VGAs? Yeah, we're gonna do the video game awards again, for sure. We were 3rd place last year for the stream that had the most correct guesses for what the awards were gonna be. So we need to take number 1 this year. We have to do it. Except we won't, because there's probably going to be a bunch more people that are going to be taking it super seriously, because that was the first year they did that, right? So we have a too small of an audience to compete with the big boys, but we'll hold our own. I think we'll do pretty good. Any game you're looking forward to this year? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else that's coming out that I'm looking forward to. Nothing that I can think of right now, at least. What else is even coming out this year? I don't know. I've had a lot of holiday family events to go to, so I'm a bit tired. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's thingy right now down in the States, right? Thingy Thanksgiving. It's the fake American Thanksgiving. I'm assuming that's the family events you're talking about.
I'm very, very sleepy and also drunk and also stoned. So this is gonna be a very funny stream for them.
Damn. We should tell the Shih Tzu joke again.
Yeah, it'll be new again.
Sorry if you've answered this before. I've missed a handful of streams. But do you think you'll ever play Disco Elysium? Oh, damn. The meme's never gonna go away.
There's always one.
It's never gonna go away. Yeah, I'll play it. I might stream it too. We'll see. I'll probably do a stream and we'll see how it goes. And if everyone's like, yeah, this is going well, keep going. And if everyone's like, nah, hearing you read this much is kind of boring, then we'll just do a stream. Disco Elysium is my game of the year. Is it really, Wuggy? No memes? No jokes? Really? Did you play Death Stranding, though? I don't know, man. No memes, it's great. I don't know. Sekiro is my game of the year? I think Sekiro is my game of the year, too. Either that or Baba Is You. I'm not sure. Not sure. That stream is going to be political. Who boy? No, Disco Elysium can't be political. It's a video game. Video games can't be political. You're trying to bamboozle me into not streaming it. Bamboozled. Oh, excellent. I was watching the Uncharted video. Which one? Those are pretty good videos. I like both of those videos. I feel like I had enough to say, like interesting things to say about the story. And I think the gameplay video is one of my better ones for explaining gameplay systems. But I haven't watched it again in a while. It's kind of a rough intro, though. Not really happy about the intro to those ones.
Crosscode's my game of the year because of you, Joda.
It didn't come out this year, though. You can't do that. That's breaking the Game of the Year convention. It has to come out this year, not that you played it this year. Make a prediction for the final Smash Bros. DLC fighter. Fuck, I don't know. It probably has to be something big but mainline Nintendo, right? If it's going to be the last one. I have no idea. I don't really pay attention to Smash. I don't even know who's being added recently, apart from some dude named Terry. I haven't played it. I'm sure I'll enjoy that game when the kids get a little older. Me and Finn might be able to play it now, actually, but I don't think he's there yet. He's playing Mario Kart lately, though. Oh, sorry, yawning a bit. But I haven't been awake for that long. I slept in late today. Because I went to sleep so late yesterday. Wugginot has resubscribed for 20 months with Jedi Fallen Order. Don't you mean Darth Solos? Thank you, Wuggy. Really, Disco, really? Sorry to keep on about. Really? Huh.
I feel like he always resubscribes.
Wuggy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can't be, right? Like, that's weird.
Wuggy, have you hacked Twitch? Do you resubscribe every
Like,
time
I
that
don't get
Lily's
like
here?
deja vu or anything, but I feel like it's just with Woogie. It's like, what? How could that be?
He has 4 Wuggy accounts. One goes off each week, maybe. And they're all like, maybe he types them with. Okay, so Wuggy is in Finland, and I know my geography. That's really close to a bunch of other countries too. So maybe he plugs in like an American keyboard and he did Wugginot, and then he plugged in a Finnish keyboard and did Wugginot, and because it's a different keyboard, it shows the same username, but it doesn't. It counts as a different username for Twitch, even though it's the same letters.
Or is it just because he's in Finland
I don't know.
that like imaginary things are happening?
He has a German keyboard too. He had to look up how to not do the umlaut. And yeah, that's how he did it. Maybe because Finland is a fake country, it's a fake resub.
Maybe. That's what I mean by imaginary. Like, maybe that's...
Maybe. Do you know that's a real thing?
You told me that.
That there's
I didn't know that was
there's
a thing.
people that think that it's set up as a fake country for Japan in the negotiations after World War II for Japan to continue to be able to fish as much as they need to without breaking like regulations. So they made up a country and they called it Finland because that's where Japan goes to fish, and it's just a complete fabrication.
Finland. That's an interesting play on the word and the name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything here is Finland, so.
Yep. This is a Finn house.
A Finn
Double
house.
N. All conspiracies need to leave clues. Exactly. Thank you to MG Yaya for the new sub with Prime. Welcome to Prime Time. Not very often we get a new sub during the Q&A streams. Thank you very much, MG Yaya. Welcome to the pickle jar. We try to do cringy welcomes and resubs, but they're not cringy anymore. They're just kind of like routine now. The cringe has lost its bite.
The cringe.
Yeah. We've cringed ourselves through to the other side, like Adele. Thank you, Arito Gip? Arito GPA? I'm not sure. Sorry, GPE. I can't read. For the 5-month resub. Hey, Joe, thanks for the streams. I hope you don't have too much troubles pronouncing my username. Ah! There you go. Thank you, Arito. Thank you, Lord Chicken 10101 for the 3-month resub. Baby Yoda time. What's the Baby Yoda? Is it actually Baby Yoda, or is it just a baby version of the race that Yoda is? I've seen that all over from the Mandalorian show. Is it? It's not Baby Yoda that's been like hit with like reverse time fall, is it? I didn't even know there were other Yodas. I thought he was just like something that was just made out of the Force. Aren't there only 2 in all of Star Wars canon? There's Yoda, and then there was another one in one of the video games that doesn't even count, right? And now there's Baby Yoda.
Hi, Lily. I enjoy whenever I can hear you speaking with Joe. You gotta make your own stream platform. You would outperform Joe.
Ooh.
Miguel, are you the same Miguel I talk to sometimes? Because maybe that's just kind of cheating them.
Everyone loves Lily.
But maybe it's the same one.
No one loves
like
Joe.
Less love widespread, all like in one spot.
To quote Joe, there cannot be only one of something. There must be at least 2. Yeah, but it's Star Wars, and you know who gives a fuck. I think it's very silly that we have so many people taking Star Wars seriously. It's very silly. It's very silly. As Finn would say, silly. Thank you, Dragon555, for the 24-month resub. Welcome to the 2-year club, Dragon555. I remember thanking you for the 23-month resub, and the months are just fucking flying by. Holy shit. Thank you, Dragon. Hope you like the 2-year chat icon. It's a dragon, so you should. Joe only cares about one Mandalorian. That's true. That's
a different Miguel.
Jango Fett.
Cool.
The D is silent. And also, before I forget, thank you to the following people for subbing while the stream was down. I feel like there's a lot of them. When did we last stream? It was a week ago, wasn't it?
Saturday? Not even a week, right?
Yeah. So thank you to Samuel Aguirre. What's that, Lily? Aguir. Sorry, AR. What's that?
Aguirre?
Aguirre?
I think UI is a U, like a U.
Let's
like
just
Aguilera, right?
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Academic Relic 5, Malam Burr, Santana J, Kimichi, WB Junkie, Ariel Stannis, Isaac 9977, 0L, Bolus Reacher, Sky Caesar, Stan the Waz, Dusty Amy 8, Zaid Jr., Some Jabroni, Stealth Oblivion, Rusty Waterdrop, Nightfall 117, Zytel 3, and Alderana. I think I said it right this time, right?
It's either Alderana or Alderana.
I think I said it right this time. For subbing or resubbing while the stream was down between the streams. Thank you very much. Thank you. When are you gonna play VR chat? I don't have a VR headset yet because it hasn't been delivered yet. Oh shit! Stream announcement. Datapon caved and ordered an index. It's gonna be here on Friday. I was afraid that they were gonna get sold out and I wouldn't be able to get one in time for Half-Life Alyx. So, yeah. I should check right now actually and make sure that everything went through with it. So there'll probably be a stream of Half-Life Alyx, I guess, and we'll see if there's any VR stuff that we can do. But I don't know if we're gonna have space to set it up properly for some games because we're very, very cramped in the upstairs. We're thinking that we're probably gonna have to finish our basement, and maybe that will help. All right, settings, video account details. Let's see. Purchase history. All right, don't dox yourself. Don't dox yourself right now. Don't dox yourself. All right. Shipping status, shipping soon. Aw, damn, nice. All right, there we go. All right, yeah.
If you're gonna make an Undertale video?
Yep, for sure. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Even if let's just say that we somehow won the lottery, even though we don't play the lottery, and
which makes it harder.
Yeah, which makes it very hard. So it would be even more unlikely. But so and it's like, okay, I don't need to make videos or stream or anything anymore. I still probably would make videos for fun and my own enjoyment, and I probably still would stream for fun and my own enjoyment, and that's one of the videos I would make for my own self, would be the Undertale video. So yeah, there'll be an Undertale video at some point. VR Kanojo stream. What's Kanojo? Kanojo? VR Kanojo. Oh, it's porn. Okay, cool. It's porn. She got... What? Is she eating a sparkler? Right? Isn't that one of those like firecrackers you get and you light it up and then
Looks
you can...
like it.
Like, is she eating a sparkler? Can I put this on the screen? Is that allowed?
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, there's nothing explicit about it. Hold on, let's see. Butt Sharpie? I'm sad I know what that is. Alright, where are we? Fan art. It went into that folder. Alright, let's see. There's no like watermarks or anything on there. Alright, there we go. Okay. Let's put this on the screen. God, we're just the best streamer. Just the best streamer. Here we go. What's that? Isn't that like a sparkler? What the fuck is in her mouth? Pocky?
It's a snack.
Pocky.
Just got hungry, you know.
Pock. Oh, I've seen this. There's there's a store, there's a supermarket that has this. What the fuck is Pocky? Chocolate covered cream biscuit sticks. Okay. Okay, are they good?
Is it kind of like those finger things that your mom got us that year?
Yeah.
And I ate them all.
Cadbury fingers?
Even though I didn't really like them, just because they were there. Do
they still have Cadbury fingers in Britain? They don't have them over here. They actually good? Alright, nice. Let's get this fucking thing off the screen right now. Alright, everyone's gonna think it's like, oh, he's playing Kanojo and he's smuggling it under the fucking Stardew Valley category. Okay, there we go.
I just got here. What the hell am I looking at? Oh, they're like a Kit Kat.
They have Cadbury
she
fingers
got
in
us
Australia
so
too.
many that year.
Yeah.
Like
And
this huge box.
They didn't taste good either.
They weren't good, but like you know when you've got like nothing else and like there's some kind of a snack.
God, that was a long time ago.
Keep going at it, yeah.
Wasn't that like?
Never ate them again.
Wasn't that 12 years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time
How
ago.
do you remember that?
I just remember this huge box of Cadbury fingers.
Yeah.
And every time I would eat them, I would hate myself because they weren't even that good. But then they were there. We didn't have any other snacks. So.
Has anyone ever told you sound like Nathan from Nathan For You? Yes, but I don't hear it. Okay, so people have told me that I sound like Nathan from Nathan For You. That one I hear more than this one, which is people tell me that I sound like Epic Name Bro. That one I don't hear at all. I listen to Epic Name Bro and I'm like, I don't hear it. Nathan For You, I can hear it a little bit, but not Epic Name Bro at all. Not that there's anything wrong with Nathan For You's voice or Epic Name Bro's voice. I just don't hear it. But I have a very changeable voice, depending on how much sleep I've gotten, time of day, how long I've been speaking for. That happens to everyone, but I think with me, the difference is a lot more pronounced when it comes to, do you like that? When it comes to how I sound, even in videos and stuff, it can change.
Jake's here again.
You sound like Nathan Drake.
It's becoming
Nathan Drake?
a thing.
I don't think so. Who else is pirating The Mandalorian? I don't pirate anything anymore. I don't like mess around with that. It's been a long time. Since out of production, kind of pricey now, I can offer up my PSTV with Persona 3 and 4 if you guys have a PO box setup. We do have a PO box setup, but we're not quite ready to give out the information just yet. There's no particular reason. We're just kind of scared, and I'm gonna wait until the Witcher stuff is done, just in case there's like a huge influx and I have to deal with some crisis of, I get a phone call from the post office and being like, holy shit, there's like so many boxes of teeth, you need to come here. And it's just I don't want to have to deal with that. So we're gonna wait a little bit and see. I spoke to H Bomber guy. I said, hey, you recently set up a PO box thing, didn't you? Like, he even made the teeth joke. That's where I got it from. I must have. And they said, hey, how was that? And he said he had an influx at the beginning, but since then it hasn't been nearly as much as you might think for people sending you shit. Like, it's manageable. I'm like, oh, okay, so it'll probably be okay.
Maybe they'll send the Pocky too.
Maybe they'll send Pocky. I don't know. But don't send me hardware or anything like that. Like, I can find that for myself. If for whatever reason there's no way for me to set that up properly, then okay, I'll source it to the community and we can get some people working on it, and I can possibly buy some stuff off of some viewers. But like, don't send me stuff like that. Just because it's not, I don't like getting gifts that are channel related. There've been a bunch of people that have asked me a bunch of times, like, hey, can I send you a game key? And I'm like, no, it's against our policy. We don't take any game keys or anything like that. I love H-Bomb. Are you a fan? I'm not as big a fan as I should be because I don't have time to watch a lot of his stuff. But yeah, every video that I watch of H-Bomber guy has been pretty good. I even got something out of his Dark Souls 2 video, and that video, shit, right, everyone? I thought that his point about how like the world isn't connected logically can lead to surprises. I thought that was actually pretty good. I thought that was a good point, especially if you look at it that you're in a dream realm, because of what happens at the beginning of Dark Souls 2. I don't know if I fully agree with it. I don't think it's better than the world interconnected making sense and everything, but I thought that was a point that wasn't worth as much ridicule as it got. I think that's a valid point. I think that's a good thing that games can do. I'm pretty sure there are games that are very well received and very well beloved that do that and don't get criticized for it. Silent Hill 2, and I think that it's I don't think it was worth that much shit that he got for it. Have I played Shovel Knight? I even played it on stream. Yep. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I've been catching up on your Persona 5 streams during your week off, but my god, I'm only on stream 20. That was one hell of a playthrough. Hey, you're almost at the end. Isn't there like only 28 streams of that? Or does it break the 30s? I can't remember. When you starting AI? I'm gonna guess that by the time Witcher's done and we've met our other stream commitments, that we'll play a couple of games in between them and everything. I'm gonna say the absolute earliest that we could possibly be playing AI Simonium Files is April. That's what I'm gonna guess. And those commitments don't include Persona 3-4. So I'm gonna say April is the earliest.
I'm so very, very lost. I'm so sorry. I gotta go sleep tight. Everyone, love you, chat. Love you, Joe and Lily. Smaller than 3.
See you later.
Feel
Casper.
better tomorrow.
Was Casper the one that was
drunk and stoned and sleepy?
Are you sure? I thought it was
I think there were 2 of them, but Casper.
Joe the Hadafu boy is drunk and stoned too? Damn. We have a lot of
Well, it's Friday night.
Yeah. Joe hates Bomber got confirmed. Yeah, I hate him. Every time I speak to Harris, I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you. I'm holding it back. I fucking hate you. I don't really talk to other creators all that much. I think the person I speak to the most that's another creator is Mandalore. And if Mandalore's here or Mandalore hears that, Mandalore's going to be like, what the fuck? You don't speak to me that much. I'm like, yeah, but you're still the one I speak to the most. I don't really have time. And I feel like I'm bothering people when I speak to them too. So, yeah. Second would be Shammy. Shammy messages me a lot. God bless him. I don't know how he puts up with my shit, but yeah.
Have you ever heard of Play the Pathologic games?
I've heard of them. I haven't played them. I'm very interested in playing them. I think I'd want to play the first one and then play the second one, even though you don't have to. But I think I would like to appreciate the changes and everything. I sometimes wake up with really random ass memes from Shammy, and it's great. Shammy's thing that Shammy does for me is that he will send me pieces of the JoJo manga, and he will, without context, and we play the game. Is this real or not? Real or fake? And I have to decide if it's real or fake. And I get it wrong a lot. But yeah, that's the game that Shammy and I play. And it's a pretty good game. Alright, I think we need to get into the questions now. I think that if Baby was going to wake up, it would have happened already.
Oh, she had hiccups. I think
and he can get chained into, like, roped into just talking to chat, huh? It's fun. It's fun to talk to chat. Before we do, though, there are a couple of subs and resubs. Youngin, the Younglings, Youngin has resubscribed for 2 months with hold this sub. I'll hold it for you, Youngin. Thank you very much. 2 months in the One Trip Troop. I have a One Trip Troop joke lined up for Star Wars. I'm really excited to say it. Thank you, 100 pounds for the 1113 sub. Thank you very much, 100 pounds. May you continue to pwn. Thank you, Ghosty Summer, for some bits. Lili should watch Puelli. Oh my god. Puelli Magi Madoka Magica. It's a pretty witchy anime and also great. Not you, Joe. Is that the one I accidentally spoiled during the Binding of Isaac stream? Hold on. Puelli Magi Madoka Magica. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. God, this looks awful, doesn't it? This looks terrible.
It's so colorful. Like, it's so pastel for something
it's like
witchy.
The Himiko squad. Oh, speaking of Himiko,
How did you do that?
The light
segue into that
because it happened just now before stream started. The light bulb in this room went off. I came upstairs and the light was off, and I flipped the light switch up and down, and it's not going back on again. And I'm like, shit, the bulb's burst. So I had to find the new bulb, and I come upstairs with the new bulb finally, and I reach up to unscrew the light bulb from the ceiling, and when I touch it, it came back on again. So I'm like, what the fuck? So it must have just gotten loose somehow. So I tightened it up again. But then I called down to you and I said, oh, I just touched it and it came back on. And you shouted back up, it's magic. And it's ruined for me now. Like whenever you said it, I thought in my head, it's magic. It's fucking ruined. No one can ever say that to me ever again without me thinking fucking Himiko. More like him a go, because I want her to fucking go. Thank you, Micrologist, for the 18-month resub. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Micrologist. 18 months in the pickle jar. Thank you, Charlemagne the 6th. I feel like I've said your name before. Was there another Charlemagne? Or is it a line from the Witcher video?
I feel like I saw it too.
I talk about him in the Witcher video for like a sentence. It's a joke. Fuck. Welcome to prime time. Welcome to.
I asked a question last
Welcome
stream.
to the pickle pile. That's why. Okay, that's why. God, I'm going crazy. I took the kids to get vaccinations again this week because it's like we have so many kids that they've overlapped that it's like a monthly thing. You know, I took the kids on Thursday. It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
And
days around here don't matter.
I took Finn and Kate, and Lily stayed home with Leo, and I took them both, and like I go in, and the nurse is like, hey, okay, so date of birth, blah blah blah. I tell them all, and then she's just asking me all these questions, and I'm trying to answer the best I can, because it's like she's asking me questions about the previous vaccines, and Kate was having her second dose of the rotavirus vaccine, and she's like, do you remember like what to do about the rotavirus vaccine? And in my head, I actually thought, I'm like, this isn't Witcher, I don't know. Something about swallow, I don't know. So, and then she said, I'm like, oh, I do remember that you have to thoroughly wash your hands. It actually was one of the craziest things about vaccines. I didn't know this was having kids, is that, well, first of all, there's a chickenpox vaccine now. I didn't know that. Like, we have a chickenpox vaccine. I'm like, what the fuck? That was like whoa, we're living in the future. There's a chickenpox vaccine. And the second thing was that the rotavirus vaccine is given through drops that the baby drinks. It's a drunk vaccine, so I don't even understand how that works, because vaccines to me are putting a strain of the virus into your blood, and it's a weakened or dead strain, and then your body creates antibodies. So how the fuck is it something that you drink? You drink the vaccine. It must go through the blood in another way, or it's for the intestines. And the thing you have to do with it is that the baby will expel the virus after through the poop for like 10 days. So you have to thoroughly wash your hands afterwards, because the rotavirus vaccine, you can only get it when you're a baby. I don't know why. Apparently babies can handle it, but no one else can. But yeah. Not all vaccines need blood. Is it going into the bloodstream though, or is it a vaccine for your intestines, and it's sort of like a strained word, the vaccine? Because if it doesn't, I was under the impression that the vaccine is specifically for something that goes into your blood and makes the antibodies, and if it's not, it would just be inoculation for rotavirus. But I guess, doctors know way more than I do about this, at least. Thank you, Ralph Hogs, for some bits. What does a skeleton shoot people with? A bone and marrow. We're never gonna get to the questions. No. We're never gonna get to the questions.
You actually said we might finish tonight.
Yeah, we're not gonna get to the questions. Cuckstone has resubscribed for 5 months with "We love you, Joe." Thank you, Cuckstone. I love you too. Your name reminds me of another story, because this is what's gonna go. We're just gonna go on and on. Someone linked me some Reddit post, which was like a Reddit review of my streaming, and it was like the pros and cons and like of Joseph Anderson's stream, and it was actually fairly well written, and I was reading through it, and I'm like, okay, and he got to like the cons, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair, like it's fair that you have these criticisms and everything. But one of the things they said was that like what was the exact, I can't remember the exact words, like I'm what's the opposite of an SJW? Like whatever the fuck that. Apparently, I'm overtly political. I like to say bad things about SJWs, and I use the word cuck unironically all the time. And I don't understand how he said all those things that aren't true when the rest of what he said was true. Like, he was right on with the rest of the stuff, but those three, it's like he got me mixed up with someone else for that section of the review. So maybe it's another Joseph Anderson. No, it's not, because the rest of it was right, and they spoke about the Danganronpa streams. So I'm like, I was reading that, I'm like, what? I don't think I've ever said the term cuck on stream, except for when I'm reading it, like when it's in a name or I'm quoting it from someone. I don't think I've ever said it, ever. I actually don't like the word. It sounds kind of gross. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for making me think of that, Cockstone. Thank you for the 513 sub. Thank you, Axon589, for the 2-month resub. Thank you very much. 2 months in the Wubba Lubba sub club. And last but not least, Zorgrox used 100 bits to say, hey Joe, why do you worry that you'll dislike Yakuza? Do you think it's Yazuka, by the way? Do you think you'll not jive with the combat, the story, the jokes? I'll just say, make sure you actually do combos and not button mash, please. I don't think I've ever said that I worry that I dislike it, right? I don't even know what it's about. We were just talking about it on Discord. I know very little about Yakuza. This is the first time I'm really realizing that there's combos in the combat. I have no clue. So I'm not too worried that I won't like it. I am worried on behalf of chat that I won't like it and it'll be a bad experience. But if I'm absolutely loathing it, I'll find some fun. I usually find some fun. You said Death Stranding. Did I really? Huh. I don't remember saying that. Sorry. What was the context? Was it like the story or something, or was it about I'm not gonna like the I'm not gonna like it and it's gonna be a long playthrough. I'm worried it's gonna be. Was it like I'm worried it's gonna be a bad time if I try and stream it now? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little too jokey. What about the time you did the blackface, Joseph? I think you're getting me confused with another Canadian that starts with J. Last name Trudeau. I'm sure you'll enjoy the softcore porn part of the game at least. Whoa, there's what? Now, you just said I'm worried I won't like it, which could maybe be like, yeah, you're worried you won't like it as much as chat does. Yeah, that could be it, yeah. Joseph Trudeau exposed. Guys, don't spoil. Of course, that's not a spoiler. It's a Japanese game. Of course, there's gonna be softcore porn in it. Come on. Damn, there I go being racist again. All right. Damn. Those cucks that like Japanese RPGs, like Yazuka, more like Cuckzuka.
Don't get political now.
Yakuka? Well, there's got to be a pun there somewhere. I don't know. Okay, let's finally go to the questions. All right. Joseph Red Pill Anderson. Does the Red Pill thing come from the Matrix? That's what they co-opted that from the Matrix. That we're like, people think they're woke, but we're double woke, and because we took the red pill from the Matrix. That's cringy as fuck. I can't believe that's a real thing. Someone started saying that as a joke, and then they ran with it. I'm sure that's cringy as fuck. Anyway, let's go to the first person on our list on Discord.
They're supremely cool.
Hey, Supreme Cool. Is Supreme Cool here? I am. Hey, how's it going, Supreme Cool? I played your game. All right, go ahead.
Just leave that out there.
I'm gonna talk about it.
Hey Joe, about a year ago my school hosted a sort of game jam for where a bunch of people who have never made games before were put on teams and had a month to learn game development and make a game. I was one of the programmers, Unity Wranglers for my team, so I learned a lot about the technical side of game development, but I was mostly uninvolved in the design process. Here's a link to the game for anyone interested. Since then, I have wanted to make more games, but I find myself unable to come up with ideas of what to make. Do you or Lily have any methods to come up with new ideas or any ideas for simple games you would be willing to share?
Okay, so let me link the thing in chat. All right, let me make sure it's the right link. I don't want to link out one of my alt-right websites. All right, here we go. Oh shit, I almost linked to the Joe Rogan podcast. All right, here we go. So this is it. So this is a game that Supreme Cool made with a team for a school project, just to rephrase what he just said. So it was like a month-long school kind of game jam thing. So I'm guessing it wasn't as intense as a game jam, and it was more of a learning process. That's kind of a cool thing for a school to do. I wonder what was that. I'm kind of jealous that you got to do that. The only computer thing that I learned in school was how to do an Excel spreadsheet, and the instructions weren't clear, and it was just terrible. It was a really bad time. So I played this game, and I thought it was a cool idea. I think it's nice. It's a mix of Subnautica and Factorio. It's top down like Factorio, but you start off with a pod, oxygen pod, and you will venture out from the oxygen pod and do some mining to get resources, and then come back to the oxygen pod to replenish your oxygen supply, and you gather resources and you build some things to at the end. But it's a game jam game, so it's like I beat it in like 17 minutes. So it's like it's very, very short. That's what a game jam should be, and it's just like a proof of concept. Here we threw this together. I was really impressed that it had 6 direction sprites for moving. It wasn't just 4 directions. So that was like well, damn. And it kind of reminded me of some of the early Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy IV, in terms of the scale and everything. But yeah, it's a cool idea. I liked it. Yeah.
No one figured out how to program until like the last week, so we had to crunch just like real game.
Oh,
devs.
you got the full
experience.
You got the full experience. Okay, so I enjoy game jams. I've played quite a few game jam games, and like not that many, but a fair amount, and I think that they're really cool. And I think it's unique to video games, is it? I don't know. There's gotta be. Oh, of course not, because of music. But are there like book jams? Like you have the NaNoWriMo or whatever that is trying to write a book, a novel in a month. I don't think there are movie jams, are there? Are there animation jams where a bunch of animators come together and they try to make something real quick? NaNoWriMo, yeah. I think I need to sneeze. Sorry about that. What does Joe need to do the Q&A so late? Because this is the only time that Lily and I can both be here, because the kids need to be asleep or trying to sleep. Book jams is when the fireplace is too full and you have to build over another one. Is this weekly Q&A format permanent or temporary? Like, it's permanent, and we do it once every weekend, either Friday or Saturday. And yeah, sorry. But to get back to Supreme Cool, yeah. So I found some interesting games in game jams, and I think that they're a really good resource. You can find some really cool ideas and see what people are like throwing to see what sticks. And like some game jams have hundreds of entries, and you could spend weeks and weeks, maybe even months, going through every single one of them and trying to finish them all. So it's really cool. I'm surprised by how often they happen and the quality of some of the entries. So it's a really interesting thing that games have. But for your question, because right now I'm just talking about game jams and the game that you made. To answer your question, I feel like if you're having problems with getting ideas, that isn't actually your problem. If your problem is not having enough ideas, the problem is that you're just not. creating enough. I wanted to say working, but it's not always work, is it? It's you're not creating enough. I found that when I was a teenager and into early 20s, I would worry about this a lot with when it comes to ideas, and then at the beginning of the channel, I was a little worried about that too. And I've seen Mark Brown say this when he was first starting Game Maker's Toolkit. He was worried that he was gonna run out of ideas for video topics. I think what you'll find is that if you're just trying to create stuff, that while you are creating something, you will think of more ideas than just by trying to iterate on things and trying to see how things work and everything, that you will think of new ideas and new things that you could do with the ideas that you're exploring right now, and more ideas will come to you as you create. Specifically with writing, as you're writing a book, you will think of new story ideas as you're writing the other one, because writing is awful and you just want to bail on the project and start a new one, and you're kind of like, ooh, that would be good, and then I don't have to write this piece of shit anymore, I can go on to the next one. But you need to stick through it and stick with it and power through. So I feel like that's the same with pretty much anything. If you're creating regularly and creating something and actually bringing the idea to fruition takes so much longer than it does to think of a new idea. So if you are just doing that regularly, you will naturally accumulate more ideas than you will ever be able to work on. There is this idea especially in fiction writing, that you should never hold anything back. Like if you have a really good idea that ever fits in with something that you're working on, never ever fall into the trap of being like, well, that's not there. This story isn't good enough for that idea, or I really want to do that in a later time with something that might fit it better than what this story does. And there is some truth to that. There are some times that some ideas do fit better, but with other stories. But if it does fit in a good enough way, you should throw it in there, and you shouldn't like bank ideas, because you're always going to have too many ideas. That you're never going to be able to do. There are more video topics that I will ever be able to make videos on. I know that now. I realized that, I think, over the last year or so. There are some projects that I have in my head that I might have even done writing on, that I know will never get made because I don't have enough time. I need to work on other projects, and some people might not even enjoy what I want to do there. So I need to have that in mind too, because it's also work, not just making art. So that sort of thing. And the same is true for books. There are more book ideas that I have in my head than I will ever be able to make. It's just not going to happen. Even if all I was doing was writing for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be able to do all the ideas, and mostly because I would think of more as I'm going through them all. But I can still answer your question. I get a lot of my ideas from dreams. I've actually been dreaming. I don't know why, but I've been dreaming that I've been like in video games lately. I've been like in weird kind of video game testing. I don't know if it's some like we're really really sick of playing Witcher games, like the response to it. I don't know, but I'm in this weird place now where I'm dreaming about that a lot. But sometimes I get ideas from dreams. I will get some imagery that I get, or some emotion or experience that I get in a dream, and I will like write that down, and I will remember it, and I'll be like, okay, cool, that can spawn into something. Sometimes it's from playing games, reading books, watching movies, anything, just basically enjoying other forms of art. I can get ideas from that. But a lot of my time is spent trying to fall asleep, and no matter what, I can't quiet my mind, so I end up thinking about a lot of things. I've always been that way even since I was a kid. So I just get lots and lots of ideas going in my head, and sometimes things just, especially when I'm just about to fall asleep, frustratingly enough, two like ideas will fucking collide like two fucking asteroids, and it'll spawn something new, and I'll be like, oh shit, I better get up and write that down. And sometimes I don't. I'll be like, as I'm falling asleep, I'll be like, oh, that's a really cool idea. I'll remember, and then I wake up and I'm like, fuck. So yeah, so I think that's where most of my ideas come from. I don't really have a reliable just get yourself into this mindset and just think of things to get ideas for stuff. It just kind of comes to me. I guess the closest I can get to that is just creating stuff. As you're creating stuff, you're going to get more ideas. And the other one is going for walks. If I'm walking somewhere, especially if I'm alone, if I'm walking for like an hour, and it happened on the way home on Thursday when I was walking the kids home. It's about a 90-minute walk, and no, not quite that, like a 70-minute walk, and Kate, you can't talk to Kate, and Finn was asleep, so I got to a lot of thinking and stuff like that. I would say that's probably the two most reliable places that you can force yourself into that thinking space. What about you?
Well, I don't make games or really, have anything to do much with games, so that's the question. But when it comes to books, I get ideas from all different places, often from other people's writing. So I'll be reading a book, and a piece of that will be interesting to me, or that character is interesting, or that line is interesting. I listen to music a lot when I write, and it puts me in a sort of headspace, depending on what I'm, like the moodier the music, the better the murder scene. So actually, the book I'm writing now, I got the idea from a music video. So sometimes a music video, if it has the right artistic look to it, or lighting, or there's something about it that will do that for me. Sometimes it was a movie trailer that would do it for me. I would watch these trailers because they're set to music over and over again, and it would have like flashes of what happens in the movie, and sometimes that would spark something. Song lyrics will do it for me, or I'll hear someone telling a story about something that happened to them. It can come from anywhere. I actually wrote a scene today, and do you remember how in the apartment we had the laundry room downstairs and people used to leave stuff there?
Mm-hmm.
I used that today. Like, who would have thought you would use the laundry room that was kind of an unspoken exchange kind of room where people would just leave stuff they didn't want anymore, and you'd go downstairs, and if you
Yeah.
wanted it, you could take it.
They mostly left books. I got some good books from that.
So you don't really know what you might use. You just kind of compile all this shit in your mind, and then sometimes it fits. So you just take what fits. And for me, I've always gotten my book ideas by taking a little of this and a little of that and kind of throwing it together and seeing how it fits. And then kind of writing it, like spiraling with it from there to see as it gets bigger and bigger and you get different characters. But there's never been really one spot where I got an idea from. Sometimes it'll be something that happened that I heard about as a kid, like what happened to an aunt or an uncle, or when your family came from whatever country, or someone you worked with who had a story, or you were in line and you heard someone talking to someone else, and that suddenly sparks something in you. So just be open to everything, basically. Just be open as much as you can all the time. To be a sponge, just soak everything up and then see how it fits like a puzzle.
There's some good stuff in chat right now. For game devs specifically, a lot of ideas can come from making a copy of a game. It's a good way to learn how to do it in the first place. Then you get ideas while working on it that you can implement to make into your own game. Yeah, that's a good idea. I agree with that. I feel like it's easier to, or not just easier. No, it's not easier to copy a game than it is to rewrite a book, right? So I feel like it's more of a creative process when you're remaking a game than most other mediums. Maybe because it's possible. Like remaking a movie would be like wow, but you can much easier make a game. You might even be able to rip the same assets, right? You can't rip the same actor. The witness is coming back to you. Yeah, about the dreams. Yeah.
I don't really remember my dreams. It's very rare I remember my dreams.
Were you possibly on a beach in one of these dreams? I think I was in one of them. Yeah, I think I was. I had a nightmare last night. It woke me up. I had a nightmare. One of my tamer ones, but it still kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like. It was like one of those Resident Evil 7 videotape scenes where I was in one place in the dream, and this is how nightmares get me usually. It's a kind of like a sudden segue just out of nowhere, and I was like suddenly I was someone else, and I was watching like a videotape of them walking down a beach, and they were like filming stuff, and it was in black and white, and they were filming stuff along the beach, and then they came across this like weird dead fish on the beach in like a pool of water just where the like the tide was meeting the sand, and it was drawn back, and he put his he touched the dead fish with his foot, his left foot, and the fish kind of like just suddenly just like snapped onto his foot, like the front of his foot, like full on like mouth just like stuck onto the front of his foot, and just peeled it off. And then the guy who was holding the camera started like laughing and like freaking out, laughing like what the fuck is this fish that just stole my shoe. And then he was trying to tell his friends about it, and then he turned to his friends that were on the beach, and his friends were gone. And then all of these like then these three kind of like what are those shell things, the shell that are typically in fossils. What are they called? I had a fossil like that. And ammonite, is that the Pokemon version? Shit. What are they called? There were like three of those, and they were about the size of a cat, and they came out of the ocean, out of the water, but instead of like moving, they had like gigantic tongues that they were using as like an arm to like grab onto the sand and then like fling themselves closer to the guy, who was me at that point. I was controlling the person, even though it was a video camera scene, and they were like three of them were like using their tongues to like fling themselves up the beach again to get closer to this guy, and the guy freaked out and was like, what the fuck is that, and then he runs up the beach onto the grass away from them, and then it's like, and then he stops, and then like it's really dark off the beach, and there were like these three kind of like they kind of looked like hyenas. They were like three hyenas but they were really deep in the shadows, and they were just like looking at me with like their eyes from like the shadows. And then I woke up, and that's when I woke up, and it was just kind of like, oh, it was like, oh shit. But yeah, that was what woke me up. So yeah, there was a beach in my dream recently. Yeah. Have you ever tried a lucid dream, like your dream as it happens? Yeah, I've done that a couple times. It doesn't usually go all that well, but I have done it a couple times. Dude, you're fucked. Nah, that's pretty tame, man. There were other things about Supreme Cool's question as well. Music lends itself to inspiration very well. Yep, because it only occupies one of your senses, and IMO, imagination, is very visual, which is unoccupied at that time. I don't know enough about that to confirm, or I agree, but I don't know if that's right. But I do agree. I think imagination is a very visual kind of thing. Yeah. I had written a lot of short stories that come to me in dreams, the most fucked up specifically, from Ghostly Sun. And there was one, here it is. Doing monotonous tasks while in a good mood is the best way to get really cool ideas. Yeah, I would say, I don't think you necessarily have to be in a good mood, but yeah. I mean, you have to be in a good enough mood to not be just like constantly pissed that you're doing this monotonous task, right? Would you consider video games art? Absolutely, yeah. Shouldn't even be debated. How you doing, Jojo? I'm doing okay. Another Disco Elysium question. Okay, I think that's all we can say. Thank you for the question, Supreme Cool, and thank you for the Game Jam game. It's a cool idea. I'd like to see a full game flesh out of that. Yeah. Okay, next person on. Okay, I think there are two from this spread over two different posts. Okay, Okay, but first, thank you to Top Lolly for the 3-month resub with Anders Pout. Hey, 3 months in Pout Patrol. Thank you very much, Top Lolly. You're a fucking weirdo on Discord, man. Thank you, Twisted Tootsie. I mean that in the best way possible. Thank you, Twisted Tootsie, for the 17-month resub with a message. Hi, Twisted Tootsie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. 17 months in. What haven't we said in a while? Dragon's Den? 17 months in Dragon's Den. And thank you, someone who I always mess up their name. I always say Zerplexiest, which I think is wrong, but that's the only way I can say it now. For the 22-month resub with hello, Joe and Lily. Thank you very much, Sir Plexius. "22 months in the Cringe Cafe."
Enjoy a mortifying mocha on us.
On the hoose?
On the hoose.
On the hoose. Wait, is this a stupid question about how do we submit a question for Joe Lili to answer? So I didn't explain it this time. So these Q&A sessions are from Patreon and Twitch subs. There is a room on Discord that is just for these questions from Twitch subs, and there is a prompt on Patreon for patrons to post their questions. You can still post a question in chat and we might answer it, and you can anyone who subs or gives a bit donation usually gets an answer to the question no matter what stream it is. But yeah, if I don't want people to sub or donate a bit specifically to ask a question. That's not what that's for. It's just kind of like a perk if you were going to do it anyway. That's what it is. So the guaranteed questions are from the Patreon prompt and the Twitch room. But you can ask in chat and we might get to it. But we try to give longer answers to the questions that come in.
If you do ask in chat, it's better to wait until we're done answering another question, because you can ask over and over again, but we won't see it, or we won't be able to interrupt and answer it. So
you've been a patron for a while and ask on there. I guess I never saw the prompt. Really? You should get an email about them. That's weird that you didn't get one. Maybe the patron emails go into your spam folder or something. Can anyone give me a timestamp in the stream for when you answered a question about Disco Elysium? Oh, okay. So you're not contributing to the meme. Okay, sorry about that, because that can come across as rude. People ask multiple times every single stream whether or not I'm going to play Disco Elysium, so that's why you're getting that kind of answer from me. Sorry about that. I haven't played it. I know all about it. I'm going to play it at some point. We're going to do a stream of it to see how it goes, and then we will, if it goes well, we'll continue it, and if it doesn't, then I'll just play it on my own time. That's how it goes with Disco Elysium. Anyway, go ahead with the next person.
just some dude
Has a very, very important question. Brace for it, chat.
Are you a pineapple on pizza guy? And yes, there is only one correct answer. So think about it and answer appropriately.
Well, I like pineapple, but I don't like pineapple on pizza. If there is going to be only one correct answer, I think the answer should be no, because I don't think people should be forced against their will to have pineapple on their pizza. But if you like pineapple on pizza, you go for it, man. You go for it. I think people should be allowed to put whatever toppings they want on a pizza. What do you think? You disagree.
I feel like...
It's their pizza.
I know.
Who are you? Who is anyone?
But, hold on. I have my own Lily's Pizza Shop, okay?
Wow, okay.
With 2 P's and an E on the end, because why
right.
not? And I decide then what I offer. So you can only choose based on what I'm offering you.
True.
So if you want to have your own custom pizza, you fucking make it yourself.
That's true. That's
right?
okay.
If it's like a standard pizza topping, then like you go ahead. But like if you want like ice cream on your pizza or something, like I've never seen that offered before.
If you want to make your own pizza, that's fine. I guess the real question, this is the real no meme question, I guess, is should pizza places offer pineapple on pizza?
Well, enough people like them that they do. Like they have the Hawaiian pizza with ham and pineapple, and that's a thing. Yeah.
Isn't there a Canadian pizza too?
My mom loved pineapple on her pizza.
Oh, God.
And she used to order it every time.
Why am I not surprised?
And we had no say in it. So I would pick off the pizza and feed it to my cat, who loved pineapple, conveniently enough for me.
You never ate it yourself, did you?
I did get a few that were under the cheese.
Oh, my God.
Under the cheese hiding, that you didn't know were there.
Under the cheese. That's just an excuse.
You'd think you were safe. You'd bite into it and it would be so sweet. And let me just say, I don't like pineapple off of a pizza. I don't like pineapple.
I can't believe this shit.
I don't like the texture, and I don't like how sweet it is. There's something about pineapple I just don't like. So finding a secret pineapple in your pizza is very traumatic. But God bless that cat, because he ate so much pineapple for me over the years.
Under the cheese, out of sight, out of mind? Is that what you're saying right now? That's your argument?
Put cheese over it. How am I supposed to know?
That's your excuse for consuming pineapple on a pizza?
You want me to excavate the whole pizza? Layer by layer?
I think that you should have picked it up and dramatically thrown it on the floor and said, order it again. And this time keep that filth off this pie.
Honestly, It's such a potent flavor that once it's on the pizza, it's like having onions on your pizza. If you can take the onion off, but you still kind of taste the sweetness from the pineapple.
It contaminates. I think that's with any flavor, actually. You know, like sometimes we there've been times in the past where you go like, oh, onion on half, and it's like, no, there's no such thing as onion on half. It contaminates the whole pizza, or even like bacon on half. The other half still tastes like the bacon.
Canadian is like ham, bacon, pepperoni, and mushroom. Actually, it's pepperoni, bacon, and green pepper, isn't it? The Canadian pizza.
I don't know. I never had Canadian pizza. I'm a pizza normie. I don't really. I like pepperoni and cheese and.
I remember I always have to add mushroom when I order pizza because it's never on one of them.
Sometimes bacon, and that's it. That's all I really like on the pizza. Hey Joe, I'm subbing if you don't like.
Is it mushroom really?
If you don't like me. Split opinion on chat. Wait, how many people like pineapple on their pizza? Broccoli? I never had broccoli on a pizza.
Never had that.
I'm okay with broccoli. I think broccoli is something that you can like throw into a stew.
Oh, see, I love onions on a pizza.
Like onion? I love onions.
I came from eating vegetarian pizza, and then I just started adding it to my pepperoni pizza and mushrooms.
I'm intolerant of onions, just like I'm intolerant of people of other races. So
and if I'm in the mood,
just wrecks my stomach.
Some peppers too, some hot peppers.
Yeah.
I have to be in the mood for it. Oh, I'm great because I like onions, I guess. Oh, I have to tell them about the burger I had yesterday.
Oh, do you? Okay.
This is related in food.
Go for it.
Okay, so, guys, there's not a whole lot of like takeout here that we like very much, but there is this one burger place that we think is not bad. So we ordered from the burger place, and
they didn't mess up the order for once.
They didn't mess up the order, and I couldn't decide what kind of burger I wanted because normally I just get either a cheeseburger or not a cheeseburger, depending if I'm in the mood for cheese or not. But I always get lettuce, onion, and mayonnaise on it. And then yesterday I was like, I haven't had a Swiss and mushroom for a while.
Sounds like you scared.
So, how?
I haven't had a Swiss and mushroom for a while. Let us go to the king.
I don't know him well enough.
Let us go to the king of burgers and see if they have one.
Anyway, I mixed that stuff together, okay? So I had lettuce, onion, mayonnaise, and Swiss cheese, and hot peppers. I forgot about that, the jalapeno peppers, and mushrooms, like caramelized mushrooms or whatever they are, like however they make their mushrooms, all on the same burger.
Oh, okay.
All. I was so excited about this because I'm getting this forever now.
I know you're clipping the microphone.
I'm sorry.
I know you're excited.
Sorry, I'm so loud. I'm excited. This was like, I bit into this burger and I was like, fuck yes, finally. Finally, there's something here in this city that is good. That is like, I'll miss it if we leave, you know? Like, I would miss this burger. And now I know wherever I go and I get a burger, if these are options, I get this burger. So if you have always wondered what it's like if you, like, upped your game on a Swiss and mushroom burger, do it.
Wait, that's wrong. What? No, that's wrong. You like Applewoods, too.
Not anymore. The last time we had it, I didn't like it anymore.
Okay. Damn, you won this round. Then.
Remember, you were the same. We didn't really care for it. We haven't gotten it since.
Thought I found a
Five Guys, yeah, but we don't have a Five Guys here. These are like the Moncton Five Guys.
It actually is the Moncton Five Guys.
It kind of looks like it inside too. The same style, the same kind of retro look. Yeah, I should learn to make it myself. I probably could make it myself. I've just never done it. So, it just never occurred to me to like mix and match. I was like, what would happen? Will it be gross having like mayonnaise and mushroom and onion and pepper all in one burger? But it really wasn't.
Isn't putting pineapple on pizza kind of like putting apple slices on pizza?
Similar,
I don't think fruit belongs on a pizza.
Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that because it's very important to me.
Who puts apple on pizza? Exactly. So who the fuck is putting pineapple on your pizza? I like pineapple, but it doesn't like me. Every time I say this, there's someone in chat that doesn't know. It makes my mouth bleed.
I haven't found a topping on pizza I like yet. It's all cheese or bust for me.
Is lettuce lettuce bad on pizza? I think lettuce can be okay on pizza. There's been some like smelly flannel pizzas I've had in my time that have been sort of like that. Oh, we need to bring a pineapple here. Sorry, a pumpkin here.
Yeah, banana on pizza probably would be worse than pineapple.
Yee.
It's a really
Would it
potent
even
fruit.
survive the cooking process? Would it have to be dried first? Fuck. Quickly, thin crust or thick crust? It depends, but in general, I prefer thick crust pizza. I think that
I find
like
with thin crust a lot of the time I'm still hungry
pan
afterward.
pizzas are a thicker crust, but it just feels like you're eating a heart attack, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I like the thick crust because it's bread. I like bread. Sometimes you don't eat the crust.
Are there
I like
really
the crust.
people here that like pineapple? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Poll new pineapple.
Eggplant, really? I've never thought of eggplant. I've never seen that. Interesting. I would try that. Pineapple on burger, really? Stuffed crust or death.
Normally,
We had it once or
normally
twice.
I abstain from voting and I just hit results, but no, I'm voting no.
Really?
No.
You feel that strongly about
Okay,
it?
some of these are meme votes. Some of these are meme votes. Just like people voting in that Mass Effect poll that were just like they didn't vote for the trilogy, they just voted for which series has their favorite game in it of the 6.
Pineapple with teriyaki, really? I wouldn't have thought they went together like that. Huh. I vote no because I'm allergic to pizza, not because I think it's bad.
Make it indifferent option. How can you be indifferent on this? How can you be indifferent? Pineapple on pizza. Okay, no one, but not by as much as I'm comfortable with. We had 99 votes. 58 no, 41 yes.
Closer than I would have thought.
Too close. That's too close to call. 60-40 is too close to make any decision on, unless you know it's a presidential election. Just some dude had another question, right?
Yeah, but it's not as important as that one.
Joe, have you ever had Chicago-style pizza? Basically a block of cheese branded to be pizza, but so good. No, I haven't. I've seen those though, and yeah, what's the guy's name for the Tonight Show? Stephen Colbert. Didn't Stephen Colbert go on like a rant video where he's like, "This is tasty, but it's not fucking pizza. It's cake.
Is it? I hate to say this, but
It's lasagna." Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. I love lasagna.
Yeah, they say it's good, but it's not pizza.
No, but do you remember when we had that pizza and we thought it would never happen?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
There was too much cheese.
Yep.
It was all I could taste. It was drowning out every other ingredient. I couldn't taste anything but cheese.
It was Jon Stewart, not Stephen Colbert? Okay. Yeah, there is such a thing as too much cheese.
And I thought there would never be too much cheese because I love cheese. And you know, but there was. So would that be too much, or is it okay if it's just like a block of cheese?
Oh, I have that fucking Blippi song stuck in my head now because we're talking about pizza.
Don't sing it. Don't do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought there could never be too much, and there was too much. Peanut butter and jelly burger.
Here's the Chicago pizza. What's the Chicago? Not to be confused with the really really thin pizza. Isn't that Brooklyn style pizza? Is the really thin crust?
I think Brooklyn is the thin one.
Was pretty tasty, but I think I prefer a thicker crust. But thin crust is pretty good too. Chicago. How do you spell Chicago? No, Chicago. No, I spelled it wrong. There we go. Chicago pizza. Yeah, that's lasagna.
Look at the crust though.
That's lasagna.
I would like that.
That is
That looks
thick.
good.
Let's put this on the screen. Jamie, pull that shit up. All right, let's go. Oh
Look
no.
at the crust.
I just quoted the Joe Rogan podcast. Even more of an alt-right scumbag now. Shit. Actually, I don't think the Joe Rogan podcast is actually all that alt-right. I think that's overblown. Look at the shit. If 2B was a pizza, look how thick. Look at the butt on that pizza. Look at that.
I'm looking at it.
I don't think that's pizza. I don't think that's not pizza. That's a fucking pie. Yeah, I think so too.
I would eat that.
I would eat it too, but is it a pizza?
Well, they call them pizza pies.
I have never
It
heard
looks more
anyone.
like a pie than a pizza.
I have never
but
heard anyone say, "Let's order a pizza pie from Domino's." It's just I have heard pie in like some older cartoons and stuff, and the song.
Like, it doesn't look so much in the like the actual round pizza, but look at the slice. The slice resembles a pizza. It's just really thick.
This is not a pizza. There's no way. I think we need to get some measurements on pizza. Like if it's taller than X, we have to figure out what X is. Then, look at this thing. Look at that. Look, okay, this one's even better. All right, look at this shit, chat. Okay, doesn't that look like a slice of regular pizza put on top of some fucking weird ass chicken pie bullshit underneath? What even is that? Is that cheese and is that chicken? What's that? Like that looks like a Brooklyn slice of pizza on the top and then just shit underneath. I don't know what the fuck that is. Maybe it's pulled pork, yeah. That's a shitty picture? Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get a different one then.
That is America Joe on a slice.
Okay, all the ones I'm finding are like that. Even the first one we had meat in the bottom. Okay, this one's more questionable. This one, okay, this one's harder to tell. All right, this will be the last one that we show because this one's harder to tell. Is this pizza or not? I'm leaning toward that this is pizza.
I'm so glad I'm staying up to 6 a.m. to watch Joe and
Okay.
Lily talk about pizzas.
That looks more like pizza to me.
I would eat that. That is a pizza.
We're not talking about if we're eating it or not.
I would
okay?
eat that, and I would like it.
I'd eat pretty much anything. Okay, I'm part of the ass eaters. All right, this.
You say that,
we're
but
not.
it's not true.
We're not talking about whether we're gonna eat it or not. Is it pizza? I think this
I think it's pizza.
This might be pizza. I don't know. No, Lily me. Oh shit.
What did I say?
Now you put me in a bad spot now, Lily, because now if I contest this, I have to tell them something about our sex life. Lily meant...
I meant that he's like the
I'm a picky
fussiest eater I've ever known.
I'm a fussy eater, okay? Whether... Oh, fucking hell.
I didn't say he was or was not an ass eater.
No. No.
He says he'd eat anything, but
Fuck.
if I put eggplant and zucchini in a meal, he's not touching it.
Fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Look at that pizza.
Well, why'd you have to bring up ass eaters anyway?
Okay, we're putting another one on the
This is
screen.
your fault.
We have to put another one on the screen. This looks more like lasagna, right? That looks so good, actually. Holy shit.
This one looks better.
That looks so good. Oh, man, look at that. That looks so good. But is it pizza? That looks like an... Doesn't it look like a is it a panzerotti or a panzerotto?
I think you can call them both. I think.
It looks like a
I've seen them
panzerotto
as
with
both.
with an extra slice on top that's just a normal pizza as well. It's a fucking casserole. Yeah, I don't think this counts as pizza. This looks like 3 pizzas stacked on top of each other and then just like glazed over with some dough. This is not pizza. I'm
I
sorry.
think I want pizza for dinner.
Is there a Band-Aid there? What the fuck is that? What's that?
Don't know.
Little bit of fish skin? What the fuck is this thing in the middle of the screen right now? What's that? Onion? I don't see anything else that looks like that anywhere in the pizza.
Anchovy?
Anchovy? Oh, there's another one there. Okay. Maybe that one? What the fuck is that? Okay. Alright. Some guy doesn't get another question. This was it. They're gonna keep asking. They're gonna keep asking.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that.
It's okay. It's okay.
It didn't occur to me that it would be
It's
like,
all right.
received that way. I would never question your ass-eating abilities.
Exactly, because you wouldn't have to, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. God.
Taken out of context.
Joe, that's our stream. We might finish this round of Q&A tonight. Also, Joe, yeah, we're not going to finish tonight. There's no way. There's going to be another one. Okay, where are we putting this? Can we put it over here? Oh, no, we didn't get... Shit. What is that? I don't have my axe right now, right? Oh, we can put it over there. Okay. But now there's a gap between the one on the right and not the one on the left. Oh, well. Hey Joe, so right now I'm watching this stream on my phone and my laptop. My phone is more delayed than the laptop. Do you happen to know why? Maybe they have to do like longer buffering for the phone app than on the laptop. Maybe for it to get to work, they need to spend more time like cutting the video stream down into something that can get sent out to that app. That would just be a guess though. Your children are going to see this one day, Joe. They're gonna hear. Nah, they're not. There's no way they're gonna spend time listening to all the VODs. There's no way. These aren't gonna be cool. Anyway, what was the next question from just some dude?
How do you feel about being a meme? Do you think it's healthy to try to play everything in your life off as a joke for the entertainment of internet strangers like ass eating? Is sarcasm a double-edged sword? Because if you use it too much, no one can take anything you say seriously. Do you think more famous people struggle with this more? Or if you are a smaller creator, is it easier for people to get to you? I know this is like 5 questions in one, so don't feel like you have to talk on this for too long. Thanks for answering.
That's okay.
Timing, though.
It's the timing. I don't think I'm a meme. Am I a meme? I know I'm on Know Your Meme or whatever, but I don't think I'm a meme. What is a meme? A meme to me is a joke. So am I a joke? I'm probably a joke. Almost certainly a joke. I don't think I'm that sarcastic. Maybe my humor is trended more towards sarcasm lately, but I don't really feel that I'm that sarcastic. Maybe people in chat will disagree. I try not to be, but if this is me being how the level of sarcasm I'm at while trying not to be, maybe I am sarcastic. Maybe I do go too close to it. You are correct that sometimes you can there is this fear of not being able to be serious because you don't want to get called out on anything. You always want that shield, that excuse to always fall back on. It was just a joke, you know. So you never want to take anything serious. Sorry, be seen as serious. But if you are mostly jokey, then you can say some serious things, and later on you can say it was just a joke later, just to get out of repercussions or anything like that. I don't think I'm like that, but there are some times that actually happened fairly recently. Like as recently as yesterday with when I did does this count as Half-Life 3 poll? Like that poll is a joke, and my responses to people in the tweet were joke too. And then there was like one thread that I actually had to start taking it seriously because I realized that the other person, it wasn't a joke to them, and I'm like, oh shit, like. We're 2 replies in here, and I'm like, oh no, now I have to take this seriously because they didn't realize it was a joke. So I feel like that can be the danger going the other way. Like people take you seriously when you're obviously being a joke. Like that poll doesn't even have a no option, for fuck's sake. But still, I think there's a danger to it. But you still want to be kind of fun, and you want to be be yourself, right? You know, like I'm naturally kind of a person that tries to find jokes and lighthearted perspectives on things. I try to make myself laugh as much as possible. I don't think I'm all that funny. I sometimes I can like luck my way into being funny, but mostly it's about entertaining myself. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know why I try to make myself laugh as much as possible and try and find humor in things. But yeah, I wouldn't call myself funny. But I entertain myself. But I don't know. I don't think I'm there. I don't think that I'm relentlessly sarcastic, and I don't think I take nothing seriously. I think I'm a good amount of genuine on as genuine as I could possibly be. I think on streams, on the YouTube videos, I'm less genuine. That's less about who I am because I'm trying to be more serious. I'm trying my best to not joke around, although sometimes jokes slip through. I have a rule about comedy when it comes to the videos, and that's that I only take the options for jokes when I think they will reinforce a point, or if I think it naturally won't take up that much time. It's just kind of like a natural kind of like, just slip it in, like the Dracula line on the Plague Tale Innocence video. The corruption is called Prima Macula, which also happens to be Dracula's name on Tinder. That takes 2 seconds, and I think it's funny, and it doesn't interrupt the flow of it, and it's like, okay, boom, we're done. That's the kind of joke. That's the kind of joke level that I will allow to interrupt the script because it's so short. But sometimes there will be there's even some in The Witcher that there are some jokes that are a lot more calculated and premeditated and do take up a little bit more time. But when a video is that long, I feel like there has to be some levity. There has to be something that breaks it up. But definitely on the YouTube videos, I am way more of a performer than I am on Twitch. On Twitch, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that's just here playing the games, and I will just say whatever pops into my head. I try my hardest for it never to be racist, but sometimes it just comes out that way, and then there's a review calling me racist on Reddit about it. But damned if I do, damned if I don't. But yeah, I'm just a guy on Twitch, and I just whatever. And sometimes maybe I can come across as too sarcastic or whatever, maybe, but it's definitely more genuine than what I am in the videos. I think that's okay. I think that's understood. Like it's like giving a lecture almost. Even a lecture is too formal for it on YouTube. You know what I mean? A presentation. There we go. But the other part of your question was, I think, more interesting. Do you think more famous people struggle with this more, or if you're a smaller creator, it's easier for people to get to you? I don't know. I feel like. So, do you know, I don't know how old most of you are, but I'm going to assume that most of you were like alive and conscious enough about pop culture to remember when Britney Spears had her meltdown and shaved her head. And there's this like growing thing among a lot of millennials, especially younger millennials, that as they get older, it's the saying, the older I get, the more I understand Britney's meltdown. Like
or if Britney could survive her meltdown, you can survive.
Yeah, it's like that's a line. The older I get, the more I understand it, the more I get it. And I think that when you are okay, so I'm not famous. I like in terms of fame, I'm not famous at all. In terms of internet fame, I'm a little internet famous. Like a little. There are way bigger people than me, even among the niche that I'm in. You know what I mean? Like talking about video games on YouTube. In terms of talking about video games on YouTube seriously, because that's what the videos are. Like I'm in the top tier of that, but that is a very, very small niche for when it comes to the video game discourse. There's much bigger people, and then there's even people bigger than them, and then you have to ask the question, like is Donkey like the top level of internet discourse on video games, or is someone like PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye the top level because they often talk about games? I don't know. I would probably put them in a different entertainer category than someone like Donkey. Donkey is like purely video games, and I don't know if there's anyone bigger than Donkey. There probably is. Maybe someone in chat knows if there's anyone bigger than Donkey that's just purely video games all the time. So I don't know if I have any authority to speak on this whatsoever, but
go home.
There was a little while after I started streaming. I think it started to get to me during Danganronpa 1. Danganronpa 1 is when I started to think that maybe I didn't want to stream anymore because as much fun as those streams were and as much as I was enjoying it, the comments that were coming out of the Danganronpa era were just relentlessly just negative. Just like there was like all these little things, and I started saying on some of the streams, can you imagine walking down the street? Like, you have a normal day, you get up and you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you get dressed, you leave for work, you go out, you go get lunch, you come home, maybe you drive, maybe you walk, and then you come in, and it's like, okay, so imagine your typical day, and just imagine that as you are doing that, there's someone that's following you around going, well, you didn't just brush you just brushed your teeth wrong, you didn't wash your hands thoroughly enough, that finger didn't get enough soap, and oh, your fly is a little undone, and you're not driving very well today, and well, that you tripped back there, and you think that no one saw it, but I saw it, and I need you to know and acknowledge that I saw it, and just like that sort of thing, over and over and over again through the whole entire day. And then sometimes if you say something in slightly the wrong way, then someone is going to allude that maybe you are you have bad political opinions. Like that's not like a link to tonight's meme. I'm talking about it seriously. Like there will be some people that say that,
or even your tone.
Yeah, even your tone, even that you didn't say anything at all might be, interpreted as support for some people. If you're not, it's not enough that you aren't speaking in support of X, Y, or Z political party or political ideology. It also has to be that you have to speak out against it, or else we're gonna just allude that as support, that sort of thing. So it's that sort of. During the Danganronpa streams, because I was just streaming so much, it felt like I was just streaming for almost most of my time, and that was it. It got to the point where I just felt like I just felt completely smothered by that amount of attention, and most of it being negative. It probably wasn't negative. There was a lot of positivity from it too, but I think people mostly focus on the negative parts of those sorts of things. So that's where it was coming from for me. And I think I was venting a little bit during that time, sometimes on stream, sometimes in some comments even, where people were responding to it. And there are people that will hold those comments against me forever and ever. But the point I'm making is that I got past that, and I think that if I was to go back to streaming that much again, maybe it would start to get to me again. But I feel like I've matured, and it's kind of like I see what people say things about me, and it's just kind of like I laugh at it, or I think it's kind of like I can share it and it can be kind of funny, or I just assume that people got me mixed up with someone, or they're having a bad day or anything like that. I think that I've matured past it enough that it doesn't bother me that much anymore. But that's a small creator, and people who are larger than me probably have to go through it on multiple stages. I have this theory about celebrities that it really stuck out to me about Jennifer Lawrence, that there was this period of time where Jennifer Lawrence was just the hottest shit. And then there was just this moment where just snap a finger, we hate Jennifer Lawrence. Everyone hates Jennifer Lawrence. And then a little, like a year or two after that, it's like, oh, it's Jennifer Lawrence, whatever, she's fine. And it happened with Chris Pratt too, I think. And I think there's just kind of like there's this cycle with fame that is just like you really, really popular, everyone loves you, and then something happens, and then a lot of people that have hated you the whole time suddenly feel like really, really good promise voices that everyone kind of flocks to. Everyone hates you, and then it just kind of settles between the love and the hate, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. And that's the typical celebrity or fame cycle that you go through. I'm not saying I went through that, I'm just saying that's what happens with big time fame. Like that's the kind of thing that I noticed with a lot of celebrities, and I think that for celebrities that have much more fame than I do, I think you can't get to that level without either insulating yourself from it completely, or you just have to go through a period where you just absorb all the hate, and you either break and you have a meltdown like Britney did, or you just kind of like take it all in and you just kind of like exhale like, and you get a certain point of tranquility, and you just deal with it. And I hope that I'm somewhat close to that part of it for the little dose that I've gotten of it. But I sympathize with a lot of people that are, very well off and very successful and very, very rich, because I feel like there's no amount of success and there's no amount of comfort in life that can really protect you from the mob of just relentlessly people just hating on you if you have contact with them. And that's where I think that being a big fame like creator or a big famous actor or anything can be a good thing, because you probably don't have to deal with people directly. Whereas in my job, as you say, because I'm a small creator, I'm very tied to my audience and I interact with them sometimes on a daily basis. So I think that it can get to small creators like ironically more, you know. Even I think fame can go to a small creator's head ironically more than a big creator or someone who's like legitimately famous. I think we can see that sometimes with even some people have smaller audiences than me. It can go to their head. It can change them. It can make them quite arrogant, or I don't know. But yeah, I think it can get to you. But I get it more, and it's made me more sympathetic to people that have a following, and it just like even like Donkey's latest video on Death Stranding, I didn't like it. I thought that he didn't treat the game all that fairly. And I don't think it was a good video. It wasn't a good review, and I was talking about it to some people. But then there's a lot of people that are just taking that his word as gospel. But then there are other people that are just kind of like ragging on him, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, like I really don't like this, you know, like. So even when I disagree with the person, it really like turns me off whenever I see people just going hard in response to it. I feel like there's part of your question I didn't answer. Sorry, just some dude. Definitely easier for some people to get to you if you're in constant contact with them. Yeah, sometimes I regret, I hate to say this, like I shouldn't be this honest, but I'll say it. Sometimes I regret starting the Discord and streaming, especially during that time with like I said, with the Danganronpa streams. There were some times where I was regretting it. I was like, okay, this was a mistake. I should have just kept with, I just should have kept being the kind of like the disembodied person that is just it's fine. On that just makes the videos. But I think it's been worth it. I think overall I'm happy that I did it. But if you had asked me during that time, I'm not sure how I would have answered. Yeah, that would be a difficult one to answer. I got really frustrated with the Danganronpa streams. I never left any nasty comments because I was a VOD boy. But if I was watching live, I might have sent a few. It never occurred to me that all the people like me were really damaging you, constantly attacking you. You have opened my eyes, and I apologize. Oh, you don't need to apologize. It's not a bad thing. It's completely understandable. There's someone who's there that is the perception is that they're attacking something that you like, or they aren't enjoying it in the right way. If only you would listen to me, I could convince you to like this in a certain way. Like I just did it with Donkey this week, you know. I'm annoyed at Donkey, you know, like, and I almost left a comment on the video, but I was like, no, it's not worth it. Like it's not, nothing really good is going to come out of it. He left a comment on my Mario Odyssey video, and I kind of wanted to pettily copy and paste what he said about Odyssey to him about Death Stranding, because I thought it would be funny, and I think he would have appreciated that. But he deleted his comment, so I think that he had a backtrack on that. But no, there doesn't have to be an apology or anything. It's the way it is. Like I don't think that people have to change. I think it's something that just streamers streamers are different. So streaming is the only, like, the closest thing to streaming is a musical performance and stand-up comedy. And even when you're stand-up doing a bit, and when you're, is it a bit like a set? Sorry, when you're doing a set, or even when you're doing a performance, you know, it's accepted, or it's expected, sorry, that the audience is just gonna sit there and shut the fuck up. You know, like if you're singing along, cheering along, that's all you can do. And if you're laughing at the jokes, that's what you're doing. Even just questions to the comedian are treated as heckling, because the comedians, it's this built-in, like, I don't even know if it's an unwritten rule. Maybe it has been written somewhere that if you talk and say something to the comedian while they're doing something, even if it's benign, they're going to treat it as heckling, because it's just built into them that whenever the audience starts talking, it's like, oh shit, here we go. And they need to be like on fire, ready to just fucking clap back, because otherwise they're going to lose the crowd, and they're going to lose whatever whatever momentum they've built up, and they need to capitalize on this moment to kind of like, if you clap back right, it's like, oh shit, now it's even better, you know? Like it's a huge risk reward, and so comedians are just ready for that moment when someone's going to start to heckle. So even if they're just saying something, they treat it as heckling. So I can't think of any other form of media that has the performer, or the entertainer, whatever you want to call them, that is just there, and it's expected for them to interact with the audience, that it's this ebb and flow back and forth of you are saying something and then you're reading all the comments back. Probably because of the written format, it's like all these voices can come at you at the same time, and you can actually pick some out. Whereas if everyone starts talking to you at the same time, you need to be like, okay, everyone shut the fuck up, I want to listen to you, and you point someone out. Whereas here the streamer can read so many comments all at once. So I think it's unique, and at least I can't think of anything else that's like that. So it's something that the streamer just has to get used to. But like I'll be damned if it's not like, oh my god, it's soul crushing sometimes. Like and then it's gone once someone says something, that they're critical of something that you did, and you don't see it until later. It's gone forever, and you can never like address it. It's just forever that you're going to think, okay, that person is going to think I was a dumbass for X reason forever because I didn't see that, and I can't explain now. I can't say, no, I was just trying something, or oh no, it was just a joke. You know what I mean? So it can be a bit frustrating. So I don't think that anyone needs to change their behavior or apologize. It's just something that happens with the format, and every streamer is going to have to go through with it. I think that you can see streamers that have a big audience that barely ever interact with their chat, and I think they've just been burned so many times that they're just like, okay, I'm done. They're like the celebrity that has just completely insulated themselves from the world. Like, again, like Britney Spears. Isn't Britney Spears, like, she's not allowed to go on the internet? Like,
she's got a
conservatorship.
Yeah,
and she's not allowed to go on the internet, right? That's one of it.
That's what I read.
Or she's not allowed to go on social media. She's probably allowed to go on the internet.
She's not allowed. Her phone doesn't have internet access or something, so she can't go on and read about herself.
Yeah, so
she has mental health issues, though. I don't know if she's bipolar. I read something she was bipolar. I don't know if she actually is bipolar, but she has, like, she's spent time in hospitals and stuff. Like, I think it's that they don't want to trigger anything by her reading negative.
Exactly.
Press.
So they've insulated themselves. And I think that's a lot of streamers that can't handle it, or they don't transition well into it. And you see it with YouTubers too. Like, I think, wasn't there a year, maybe even longer? I shouldn't say that because I don't know how long it was. There was a period of time that was longer than a couple days where Errant Signal had comments turned off on all of his YouTube videos, because just that alone was too much. You know what I mean? And I can understand that too. Like, I'm somewhat insulated from my YouTube comments now because I just don't bother reading them anymore on the main channel. But that's mostly because there's just too many for me to read. There was a time until I think maybe a year ago, maybe a little longer than that, where every single YouTube comment that I got, I pretty much read it. Apart from maybe it was the Odyssey video that killed that, because not because of what the content was, but because there's just so many comments on the Odyssey video that I couldn't keep up with them. That has more comments than any other video. It's insane. Way more comments than even the videos that have way more views than that. I just couldn't keep up with them. But I think the smaller videos, I've read every comment. I read every comment on the horror video and the subjectivity video. And I think I've read all of them. No, I think after that I stopped. I didn't have time to do it. Yeah. So I think it comes to a time where you have to get insulated. But yeah, I don't think anyone should feel bad. It's how it is. I mean, like, if you've come into chat and have spammed a bunch of horrible things at me, and your goal is to just come in and be like, I hate you for X reason, I've always hated you, and I'm here to just cause some shit, then okay, yeah, that's bad. But if you're just genuinely interacting with the content, you're genuinely resonating with the stream, my views on it, and you just like, I really strongly disagree with this, Joe, like, and I really want to tell you, like, that's fine, like, but it's where the intentions are that I think it's where the difference lies. Finn wants to see me?
Yeah, go see Finn, or else he's coming here, and then he won't leave.
Okay. I'll be back in a couple minutes, Jack.
Yes, I'm still here. How's everybody? You guys good? Lily, my makeup research is winding down, so I only have a couple more fun facts. Lay them on me. Hi, I'm Nee. Who are you? I'm Joe's wife. I cheated and read the last page of the Hallingston Murders, and I'm really intrigued and confused. That's good and bad, I guess. I'm glad that you are at least intrigued by it. Go to the mines, Lily? Just flew home for Thanksgiving. Surprisingly not tired. No, I haven't watched any more of it. I almost watched some of it, and then I didn't, if I'm being honest. But I will. I promise I will. I had a bad week in my work, but now it's fine. How long have Magnetic Lashes and Magnetic Eyeliner been around? I have no idea. Is it like a long time? I don't remember me asking about handing in my first application, but I didn't get the job. Oh, I'm sorry, Pink Asparagus. That sucks. Hopefully you'll get something soon, and that will be better than what you would have gotten if you had have taken that one. Hopefully. Joseph is gone. You can say you like pineapple on pizza now. I don't like pineapple, period. Never mind on a pizza. Finally, the real stream starts. That way you don't need glue. Interesting. I've never worn falsies before. I have, like, one of my good attributes is that I have long lashes and I have really dark lashes and dark hair. So I've never even really bothered much with mascara. So I've never worn falsies. And I wear contacts now, so I don't really think I want to. Hey Lily, what do you think about when Joe goes on those super long in-depth answers like that? I try to pay attention, and if it's on something I can relate to, I follow. But if it goes into game area, sometimes I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest. And yeah. Does Joe not eat your ass? That's for me and Joe to know. Any other answer will not be, there's no right way I can answer that. Honestly, no clue where to apply anymore, but I appreciate it. What is something that you're passionate about enough to make videos like Joe does? Probably mental health. I said before, if I were to have a channel, it would be a mental health channel where I would speak about my experiences and what I've learned that works for me and what doesn't work for me, and take it or leave it. Maybe it'll work for you. 2014, really? Interesting. Hey Lily, what do you think is the most important part of a story to get right at the beginning, the middle, or the end? Oh man. Beginning is your setup. Middle is the story mostly. The end is tying up all the loose ends. I feel like if you mess up the beginning, you can still recover. If you mess up the middle, you can still recover. If you mess up the end, then you might ruin what you did in the beginning and the middle. So I'm going to say the end. I get pissed off if the end doesn't hold up and meet my expectations. What was your first impression of Joe? Actually, my first impression of Joe was that he was British, and all my friends were very interested in Harry Potter at the time and very interested in the fact that he was not from here. And they were bringing him around, and it was just being like in my face all the time that he's British, 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 British. So I was most intrigued that he wasn't from Canada and what his impressions were of the country and the school and my friends and that kind of thing. I met him through other people, so we had classes together, but we didn't sit together. Are you the one secretly writing the Witcher script? If I am, I will never say. Are you nervous about going to school someday? Very. Game of Thrones I've never watched because I hear there are a lot of dead animals in it. And I'm afraid of dead animals, so he's told me that maybe I shouldn't watch it. But I think I would like it if I watched it because it seems like something I would like. What power tool do I most identify with? That's a good one. Yeah, we were high school sweethearts. I don't know a lot about tools. I feel like there's probably something really unique. Oh, I say Mario too, so that's how I always said it. That's how my parents said it. I didn't know you said it any other way until the video and everything. I don't know about the tool question. Something maybe like a saw, maybe. I don't know. I feel like hammer is the easiest answer. Yeah, we're homeschooling for the first little while, so he won't be going to school for a while. But I am nervous about him going. His speech is very good now. He's not behind anymore. And Leo is ahead, I think, because of Finn. Crowbar.
I need to move you a little bit.
Sorry. You totally saw that coming, huh? My dad was very good with tools, but I'm trying to think now of like... He had these different saws and stuff for different projects, and I can't remember now what they were. I'm drawing a complete blank. I might play with him one day, we'll see. If we'll play Stardew or something together.
Do we have a pumpkin? All right, so we need to get like a coop or something. You don't have one in your game yet either, do you? Maybe I should.
With the coop?
Yeah, maybe
No,
I
I
should
don't
get
have
one
animals yet.
so you can see how it works. We'll wait for our axe. We'll go do a day of fishing. I don't think our axe is going to be done until tomorrow, so we'll do a day of fishing and then we'll go get one. Joe, who's your favorite video game developer and why is it Nintendo? I don't know. Lily, can you shove a thumb into Joe's ear? What?
That wouldn't be very nice.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you think of the Surge series, in particular level design? I think it's some of the best in the genre despite the game's weaknesses. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think the overall structure of the levels is pretty good. Surge 1 was hit or miss. I haven't seen enough of Surge 2. I didn't play it again after the streams, but there were parts of Surge 1's level design that were impressive to me. They must have been very hard to put together. I think that a lot of people rag on the level design because it's not very visually distinctive, and that's true, but that's not really all that important to me. It is somewhat important, but it's not high on my list. Plans on the Jedi game? We're going to start playing that on Tuesday. I played it for 5 minutes already, and I have some problems with it already, just from like the game feel kind of perspective, but I would like to, I'm looking forward to it. Heard good things.
Fluxen's delirious. He's too tired.
Oh, okay.
It's very early there. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, yeah. You don't have to stay up for this. We're not playing Binding of Isaac.
Why don't you ever go to the mines?
I've done the mines already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to go. I don't need any resources
You
from the mines.
fished before too.
Yeah, but I can sell the fish for money. I don't get anything out of the mines.
That's where the real game is.
What's your target audience? Myself. I make the videos for myself, and I kind of tweak from there. I don't really think of things as target audiences. I would say, if I was forced to say something, probably people that want serious discussion on video games. But, you know, most of the time when I'm making a judgment call of what do I think people want to hear, I just look at the past videos and what's done fairly well in terms of views and engagement. It's like, okay, well, I should try and make more of stuff like that, but it's not the be all end all. I don't really think of things in terms of target audiences. I'm a pretty bad content creator for that. Feelings on COPPA cracking down, is this the YouTube change that you were preparing for? No, the COPPA thing is way overblown. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the freak out. COPPA, okay, I don't want to talk about this too much because I feel like it's been discussed a fair amount on Twitter recently, and we had a discussion on Discord. So sorry if you missed that. I just don't really feel like going through it again. But basically, COPPA, the rules of COPPA are that YouTube doesn't want YouTube tracking. Sorry, the U.S. government doesn't want YouTube tracking people that are under the age of 13. I think it might be under 12. It's not clear. A lot of the rules that are being updated haven't been finalized yet. So you have some YouTubers that are going through the PDF like outline of what COPPA means, and they are going through a version of it that's, I think, was last written in 2009, 2010. It's an old version. I got really, really angry at one YouTuber who did that, had it on the screen, and was like, look, these are the rules that they're going against. And I went and found the PDF myself, and the YouTuber had edited out the year from the PDF to make it look more legitimate than it actually was. Like, they intentionally went out of their way to remove the fucking year listed on the cover of the PDF. That really annoyed me. So yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's probably a big deal if you are a kids creator, but then there's YouTube Kids, so I don't know how it's going to affect them through there. But yeah, I'm not too worried, because if it is going to be this huge crackdown on every single channel that could possibly link to kids, that means that it is pretty much every single channel. You could make an argument for every single channel that this is, oh, not every single, you know what I mean, the majority of channels are somehow targeting kids, especially with the way that the monetized videos can't be too geared toward adults. If you have too many swear words and everything, then you don't get monetized either. But yeah, I feel like it would be the end of the internet. You know, if COPPA comes in for YouTube, then and you have to make sure that kids aren't viewing that content past an age gate, then that means the whole internet's going down. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think there's going to be some big YouTubers that have been breaking those rules, and those are the ones this is targeting. But when it comes to smaller creators or you know, genuine people that are just like making their content and not targeting kids, I don't think there's going to be any issue. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Let's say thank you to some people, because we're behind on it again. Thank you. Did we say thank you to Isaac9977?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. For the 2-month resub with the message sub. Welcome to the Rub-a-Dub Sub Club. 2 months in the Rub-a-Dub Sub Club, Isaac9977. Thank you very much. I added an extra 9 there. I'm getting tired already. That's really a bad sign. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Ralph Cox, for some bits. Did Lili mix everything into the burger on... Oh, sorry. Did Lili mix everything into the burger one station early to save money? Because you were sounding like Yusuke. Sorry, there was a line break there, and it took the E out of the one, so I was confused. Thank you, Ralgarog, for the 17-month resub with Ja'awi. Thank you, Ralgarog. Ragnarug. So real subtle there with your 3. Ragnarug. Thank you, Ralgarog. Thank you. Thank you, Mayonnaise Messiah. That's an interesting name. For the 4-month resub. It's bacon, Joe. Is that in the pizza? Was it bacon? It looked kind of like just like really burnt bacon, if that's the case. It might still be tasty. I don't know. Thank you, Mayonnaise Messiah, for the 4-month resub. 4 months in the one trip troop. And Relgrog in the 17 months in the just in the Dragon's Den?
Waifu Warehouse.
Waifu Warehouse. Damn. Lucky Relgarug. Samuel Aguiar, who we said thank you to earlier, and we couldn't say your name, has resubscribed. So I guess you were able to push it through again. That's good. Hey Joe, finally finished watching Persona 5 VODs. Looking forward to next Persona stream. My favorite is Persona 3, but they all live in my heart. Thank you for all the memes, and sorry for talking about Persona. Hope you're all great. You don't need to say sorry about that. I'm looking forward to playing Persona 3 and Persona 4. The art style is way different, though. I looked up some screenshots of Persona 3 and Persona 4 to see like what kind of era I'm going to get myself in for, and like, wow, Persona 3 kind of looks like a DS game. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get those running, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll settle into it. I'm hoping that they'll get some updated versions at some point, maybe even on PC. That would be fucking great. Thank you, Samuel, for the 2-month resub of the message. Thank you, Wuggy Not. Again, Wuggy, how do you do it now? Wanye Quest for the 9-month resub. 9 months in. Oh, this is the Waifu Warehouse as well, right?
Is it? Could it be Waifu Wagon then?
Waifu Wagon? Weeaboo Wagon?
Yeah. Is that what it was?
The Secret Weeaboo Society?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you, Wanye.
I'm proud of that one.
Action Cater used 100 bits to say, I'm late, so what happened to Minecraft? My RPG group got into a murder mystery scenario on a cruise liner, and my Danganronpa hat came on, and I'm excited as marbles. That sounds like a good setting. Lily and I kind of brainstormed a if we were to make our own Danganronpa game months and months ago. Actually, I think after maybe we finished V3, I brainstormed it with Lily, and then I wrote like a whole story. Like not in like fully fleshed out, but like a planned a whole story of what I would do in a Danganronpa style game. And I thought about a cruise liner because I was like, okay, what kind of setting could it be where they have to be isolated and they can't get out? And I think that that a cruise liner is a pretty good setting for that. I'm hoping that gets turned into a game one day because it was like that's how I planned it. I was like, okay, let's have some fun and see if I can do this. Minecraft is probably going to be the next time we start a new round of questions. So it was going to be next week, but there's no way we're going to finish all the questions tonight. So it'll probably be the week after, or maybe the week after that. We're waffling too much with chat tonight because we're just having so much fun. So yeah. So speaking about Minecraft, so Action Caterer sent me. Let me read it out actually. And if anyone here is familiar with Minecraft and would like to offer an alternative, Action Caterer. Oh, Wuggy messaged me. Oh no, is it another resub on Discord? Um, do 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 do. Without reading it out, is that?
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It's fine. Leo just fell off the bed.
But yeah, I think so.
I think he's fine.
There's no crying.
Action Cater recommended a server for Minecraft on ScalaTube. No, Scala Cube. Sorry, Scala Cube. So if anyone has a bad experience with Scala Cube, let me know. If anyone has a better experience with another server, let me know, and I will view my options or whatever. But and if no one else comes forward with a better one or anything like that, that's probably what we're going to be going for. And we're going to have a Minecraft server set up for not the next one, but something maybe the one after that, and it'll be like, I don't know, like a 40-50 person server. Let me see. What are the options? ScalaTube sounds like Porny Hat does. No, it looks like we can have up to 300 people on the same server. Oh, this one's 600. I doubt it can go that high. Really? 600 people? I think we'll probably go mid-range and upgrade it if we have enough people. I'd probably go 100 slots. So pretty much everyone here could go on it if they want to. So if anyone has a suggestion for a Minecraft server host that can have like enough people for most of us to go in, that'll be it. And we'll probably have that for a few Q&A streams. And I'll keep it running if there's a Minecraft community that spawns from that and they would like to have a server they can go on to. But yeah, just private message me on Discord and with what you think. Someone is saying MC Pro hosting. Let me message Lily with that, and I will check it later. MC Pro hosting. Okay. Creator server or survival? Probably survival, but if people want it to be on creative later on, then we'll turn it to creative. But it's just going to be like a standard Minecraft experience. I've never played Minecraft before for more than, not enough time in Minecraft to be worth the shit. So will it be Minecraft for Windows 10 or the normal one? That's a perfect question that I don't know the answer to. So you guys let me know what you'd prefer. Just message me and say like, what is it that you would prefer? What's the best options? I have no idea. I have no fucking clue anything about Minecraft. So I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know for that. Like what you guys want out of it. If that's something that you have to decide before you get the server, then I need more information. So if you're a big Minecraft person and you think that would be fun, don't feel like you're bothering me. Message me on Discord and we'll rap about it for a while. That's what the cool kids say, right? Let's rap about Minecraft. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so
I'm not cool enough.
Let's switch over to. We answered just some dudes. So next person on Twitch subs is Ty. I don't know if we're going to get back to Twitch subs, but if we do, we'll probably answer more than one. So Ty, Xylem, and Bully Hunter 77 are probably the next ones on Twitch subs that we'll answer tonight. Whereas on Patreon, we have Justin W, Alderana, Tiger V, and maybe Banjo G for tonight. And then I think we'll be able to finish next week unless there's like another big question that we sink into. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sure you guys don't mind when when we waffle and everything. But if you're sitting here waiting for your question to be answered, I think it can be a little frustrating. But we're trying to have a little more of a casual kind of, whatchamacallit? I can't think of the word. We're trying to be a bit more laid back when it comes to answering these questions instead of being like, we have a month and we have to answer them all, let's go. You know, it's just like, okay, we'll do this once a week and we'll answer whatever we get to, you know? Atmosphere. All right. So before we get back to that, I want to say thank you to Drosophila for the 2-month resub. Is it Drosophila or Drosophila? Phila. I think it's Drosophila for the 2-month resub. 2 months in the Konnichiwa Club. Oh, maybe it's because...
So it's a Konnichiwa Club with K's.
Yeah.
So then could I do Clawfist with a K as well?
Yeah, you could. I thought it was. You can also do the Kawaii Konnichiwa Club. Maybe that's why that Reddit comment said that I was alt-right, because I welcome people into the KKK.
Oh.
Maybe that's why. That was the joke during Code Vein. Yeah. In case you missed it, like some of the outlandish jokes tonight have been in response to something that someone linked to me, where someone said that on stream I often use the word cuck and espouse my political ideology, even though I never do that. So I don't know where that person got that from. The rest of the stuff they said was accurate too. So welcome to the Konnichiwa Club, Drosophila. And last but not least, the Therapist AU has subbed for the first time with a name that looks familiar to me. So maybe there's a name that was close to that. But thank you for the new sub. Welcome to the One Trip Troop. Welcome to the Dragons Den, the Therapist AW. Sorry, AU. Thank you very much. You talked about just chatting to people being hard to achieve in the modern age, but there is a YouTube channel I was referred to where it is a guy in VR chat doing just that and posting the conversation. Very interesting view into humanity. Yeah, VR chat might be one of the places you can do it right now, because you can just wander around and just kind of bump into people without any interest or whatever. Yeah, and it's still a novelty, so maybe that's like the new frontier of just sitting around talking to people. Yeah. Any chance of trying out Fire Emblem 3 Houses? There's some decent strategy gameplay and some prime cringe potential. I think we're going to probably do a playthrough of that at some point in the future. I think that would be a fun run, and it's a long game. All right, so apologies to do this, but before we start with Justin W's question, I want to go take a quick peek at Leo and make sure he hasn't broken his neck when he fell out of bed.
Good thinking.
This happens often.
Usually he gets up and puts himself right back in the bed. Yesterday, I look in and he's hanging off the bed with his neck like into nothing, right? Like his neck is off the bed. So his head is lower than the rest of his body. And I look in and I go in and I move him.
He's fine.
And then like I went to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. So like 5 minutes later, I look again. He's put himself right back in the same spot, head off the bed again. And as I'm watching, debating if I should go in and move him again, he falls off the bed, thump. But luckily I had pillows and blankets on the floor to break his fall, thump. And then I wanted to pick him up and I pick him up and I said, Leo, are you okay? And he's the sleepiest little boy. And he looks at me and goes, I okay. Put him on the bed, right back to sleep, like nothing happened.
He's cute.
But it was really funny because I had just moved him and he did it again, like so quickly after.
Finn learned to talk somewhat late, whereas Leo learned early because of Finn. So Finn didn't really start talking properly until after he turned 3, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas Leo isn't even 3 yet, and he's 3 in February, and he's been talking really well for months now. So we get to experience this weird thing where Finn didn't learn to properly talk until he understood what he was saying most of the time. So he's never said the real ridiculous bullshit that you get from kids. He has gotten some ridiculous stuff sometimes, but not out there. Whereas Leo knows how to talk before he knows how to understand. So he just says stuff, man. Like, and he's so cute. He's just on autopilot when he says something. And he's so Canadian about it too. He always says that he's sorry no matter what. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm really sorry. Anyway, let's go to the next question from Justin W, which is a rough question, I think, but I'll do my best.
Justin W. says, Hey Joe and Lily. First of all, I just want to say that I'm very amused that my questions last time led to Joe realizing and reacting to the fact that Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture.
Crazy.
I mainly find it funny because I completely agree with your opinion on the movie. Anyway, here are my
It's a
questions.
bad movie.
I feel that video games tend to age more poorly than any other form of entertainment since at some point in their history, developers became more concerned with the constantly evolving technology of games and pushing for better graphics rather than thinking about what would stand the test of time, in the same way that many movies released in the early days of CGI look terrible now if they overuse these effects. This is especially clear when considering how many games get remastered and or completely remade. I think most people would agree that 2D platformers have a certain timeless quality to them.
Mm-hmm.
I can get almost as much enjoyment out of playing the first few Mario, well, I guess it's supposed to be Mario, or Mario as you say it, games as someone who grew up with them. And obviously, several great indie games made nowadays are 2D, but I find it extremely difficult to play any other kind of game, especially FPS games, if they came out before the early 2000s and have not gotten a full on remake. I've only really started playing video games in the past 4 or 5 years, and that's just considering the technical side. There are plenty of games that had comparatively great stories when they were released but don't hold up very well in that regard today. So, outside of platformers, what games do you think will be able to stand the test of time and still be appreciated and enjoyed by people 40 plus years after they were made? If you don't mind me giving a few ideas, I think that Half-Life 2 and the Portal games could hold up quite well, and based on the little bit of time I've spent playing the first Fallout game, I think it could also be a good answer.
Really? The first Fallout game? Damn. Okay, so this is a tough question. So, I'm of the opinion, just to set a base here, that art ages, and something that came out that was considered great can later on be considered bad, and it can be considered only great for its time. I know that some people strongly disagree with that. I've had discussions with some people that I consider to be very very intelligent and astute about games that have argued with me that art never ages, and it's this weird. I view it as mental gymnastics because I think it's an indefensible position, but like maybe I just haven't had a good argument against it yet. But to me, I view it as mental gymnastics because saying that something the argument usually devolves into this statement from the other side, which is it was always bad, we just didn't realize it. That just means you're agreeing with the fact that art ages and it was good for its time, and I just at that point it becomes almost a semantic argument to me, like that's fine, like I feel like that's the point where you clutch hands of like we actually agree, but then it just keeps going and going and going with like no, that's not what I mean, it's not that art ages or anything like that. Yeah, I feel it that art ages, especially games, but we'll get into that in just a second, why it is that art ages. But yeah, that's my opinion. If you disagree with that, then that's fine. I it's an alien argument to me. I just cannot wrap my head around thinking that. I don't get it. If you think you can be the one that can convince me of that, then try your best. Like shoot me a message on Discord and like we can talk about it. But there's just no way that I like right now. Like I can imagine not thinking that. It just blows my mind that it could be any other way. Sorry. So I think that yeah. So art definitely ages, and something that was good when it first came out can be considered bad later. And it wasn't just that it was always bad. It's just our standards change, and therefore our reaction to it changes and how we can enjoy things. I don't think that people that played the first Doom with its batshit controls of using the mouse to move around and like there's no real way to move around with the keyboard and you can't even look up. I don't think they were all sitting back there going, oh, this is terrible, we just don't know it yet, and that sort of shit. I think that was good for when it came out, and now it's kind of awkward. That said, Doom might not be a good example because I think Doom kind of holds up. Like I was playing, I played Doom when it first came out for the Super Nintendo. I didn't play the PC version until somewhat recently, and I think that I'm cheating here because when I played Doom for the PC, it had a mod that kind of tweaked the controls, but If all an old game needs is just a very slight tweak on the controls, I think that's okay. I think that shows that it has kind of stood the test of time, and it just needs like something that they weren't able to do, or just a quick little fix. And I think that's, that's fine. So I think those games are still playable and they can be fun. The level design in them is still quite impressive. I think that's the levels are put together quite well, and there's a lot of secrets and everything. How about Tetris? Sorry, I think I need to clarify my position a bit from the questions I'm getting in chat. That saying that art ages and something that was good once can be bad today does not mean that anything that's old is automatically bad today. It's specifically for things that were a product of their time, that there's been a lot of, for games specifically, a lot of gameplay updates that will make it much easier to play and a lot more enjoyable to play. But that doesn't mean that anything that was old necessarily means that it is bad now. There are some things that are timeless that are still as good today, maybe even better today than they were when they first came out. But yeah, so that's I just need to clarify that a little bit. So yeah, I think that 2D platformers are going to age quite well, and I think that we're at the point now where the original run of Mario games could be played forever. I think they're old enough now that if they were going to drop off, they would have dropped off already. That said, I do think that you can see a little bit of a problem with the first Mario Bros. On the NES. This might be a really bad opinion to have. No, you know what? I think most people are going to agree with me. I don't like how jumping feels in that game. I don't like how vertical, Mario is in that game. You just hit jump and he's like, I'm going really high, and he doesn't really go forward all that much. You have to have a lot of running momentum to jump horizontally quite far. And when he is in the air, if you try to turn in the air, it's like Mario's like, I really don't want to do this, fuck you, as you're trying to correct in the middle of the air. Whereas even as early as soon as Mario 2, which isn't really Mario 2, but whatever, we'll just go with it. It feels much better, and Mario 3 is even better than that. And you have a lot more mid-air control. You have a lot more horizontal movement with the jump, but still a good amount of vertical movement. And I think that it's you can see improvement there already, but it's still playable. Whereas there's a lot of old Atari games and everything where it's not playable at all. You just go back and you're like, oh my god, you've been ruined by newer games that have come out. Someone tried saying that Matthew Matosis claimed that Tetris is eternal. I think it is eternal, and I think one of the best lines he has in any of his videos is that there are aliens that, if it's almost certainly that aliens have existed, and if aliens do exist and they make video games, they've also made Tetris because of how it works. I think that's assuming a little too much, but for the sake of argument, I think that's probably true. But that is a big assumption on how aliens might perceive. Okay, let's clarify it then. Aliens that are significantly like us would also make their own kind of version of Tetris, and I think that's a really cool observation to make. I think that simple first-person shooters are going to survive. So anything that is simple actually is going to survive and can be played later. So I think the issue with older games is that the ones that had really out there concepts, so old strategy games and like even the first Populous, I don't think you can go back and really enjoy the first Populous. I mean, what's the way to view this? Is it that you've been ruined by newer games, that it's impenetrable to go back and play the older games, that you just can't get past the UI, you can't get past the interface, you can't get past the weird controls? Or is it that there's so much that's new that is just a straight up better version of this, that why would you bother? So like, what's the approach to take there? Like, on the one hand, it's that you just can't connect with it, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I could, but why would I want to when I can just play this just objectively better version of it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the approach is to take there, but I would say that like the basis of any side scroller game is that you use the D-pad directional buttons to move, and then you just hit jump and you're just moving the character through a series of obstacles, and that's it. And that pure slice of gameplay has persisted throughout decades, and there are still new games being played like that are still holding up. And I feel like the simpler the controls are, the more chance it has of getting there. But I'm struggling to think of like some older games that are like that had longevity. Like even Mega Man is a really simple game. Mega Man X is a little bit more complicated, but I think that will hold up. I think Mega Man X is still going to be played a long time from now, and it's still played today. You can enjoy it a lot today. But how much of that is being benefited from pixel art? Pixel art is kind of timeless. I think Undertale is going to persist forever. Undertale was already old when it came out. Like, it looked old when it came out, and it's still playable. So how much is the art style? If Mega Man had its... didn't have any art, if it was just a bunch of like blocks that were just running around and firing other blocks and had that gameplay, I think it would survive. So I think that's a good way of seeing if it's the art or not, is to just get rid of the art and just imagine it just being blocks, and would it persist? And I think it would. I think Mario 64 kind of holds up, but I don't know. That's a hard one. I can't answer that because I played Mario 64 when it came out. I've heard a lot of people say that when they go back and play Mario 64 for the first time, you know, all this time later after playing other platformers, that they find it hard to control Mario, and the world looks really gross. But if you take away all the visuals of Mario 64, I kind of feel like Mario 64 would hold up. I think it's simple enough. Whereas you have all these problems with games like Deus Ex. You go back in Deus Ex and you know, using the scope is fucking left bracket, you know, like you have to look up the manual to see how you can drop things on the fucking floor. Or is that Oblivion, you know, like, you know, you have to like doing really simple stuff that should just be like intuitive, is just like, how do I do that? Where's that button? I need to look through the controls and everything. You're gonna play?
You're on a thing, and this is just sitting here, so I'm not used to playing on.
So that's how I think it is. This is Lili gameplay right now. That's gonna distract me a little bit.
Well, don't watch.
So transferring that over from side scrollers to shooters that are just the core of all shooters is move your character with WASD or the left analog stick to avoid incoming damage, and line up your mouse cursor on the right part of the enemy and left click. Like that's the main part of all shooters. That's what they boil down to. It's basically like it's like trying to click on a desktop icon that's moving while also controlling your vantage point and perspective of it so you don't take damage at the same time. That's really the core of all shooters, and that's what that most of them follow. So I think that any game that just has that basic part to it is going to be able to hold up if its level design is interesting enough to. But it's still, I don't think that's the right way of saying approaching the problem. I think it should be what's going to be playable but not necessarily good, but still going to be something that's worth your time.
I'm not used to playing on the same.
Do you want to switch chairs?
No.
Okay. Here, let me...
Is there anything I missed?
Let me move the monitor a little bit so you can see it better. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Half-Life 1 is going to hold up, but I haven't played Half-Life 1 in a while. But I think Half-Life 1 is simple enough to hold up, just like Half-Life 2. There's not much to those games past that line up the cursor and everything. I think Undertale is going to hold up. I don't know about Dark Souls. I kind of feel like Dark Souls is already kind of dated. But how much are people going to tolerate stuff like that? How much is like... If you go back and play the original Deus Ex and you get past all remapping the controller buttons, is it still playable? I mean... I kind of think that it is, and that's an older game. So have we got there already that they're going to be playable in a way that some of them aren't? Video games are still in their adolescence, and I feel like it's a prolonged adolescence because of movies. I feel like as an art form, we should have already moved past this stage, but we can't because we're being hamstrung by all these comparisons to movies, and people aren't really well equipped to talk about games. And you see a lot of discussion about games, and they talk about stories, they talk about visuals, they talk about how it's cinematic, whereas it's that's not really talking about the game part. That's talking about all the stuff that's put onto the game. I know it's kind of a controversial opinion, but games don't need all that shit to be games. They just need gameplay. That's the most important thing. And I hate that that's a controversial statement. I really do. I really do. I feel like people focus on that and they just kind of focus on it being like a negative thing, where it's not. It's just reality. It's just how it is. Like, they can still have all those things, and I appreciate it when they do, but those aren't the most important thing for it to be considered a game. Yeah, but anyway, I feel like we're hamstrung by games being this bastard of all the mediums, that people want to discuss other things instead of the gameplay, and gameplay seems as even lesser because we just don't have the language for it. And I feel bad for gaming journalists that aren't equipped for that, because they haven't been taught any different, and it's difficult to get into that. You know, we don't have an agreed list of terms. Even Game Feel, which has probably the best book that video games have for explaining something, isn't something that's universally agreed on, because not enough people are actually reading that book. I feel like the focus on Dark Souls and stuff is going to be the visuals. I feel like the visuals are going to be too dated, but I can go back and play. I was happily enjoying Silent Hill 1. I feel like the visuals weren't getting in the way of Silent Hill 1. If anything, they were adding to it. Silent Hill 2, I kind of feel like the visuals were okay in Silent Hill 2 as well, but is that an atmosphere, or is it like the surreal horror of it? Is Dark Souls is visually kind of a horror game. You know, there's a lot of horrific enemies in Dark Souls. You know, there's there's something kind of appealing about that art style as well. It's not like off-putting. It's not disturbing in the same way that Bloodborne can be. But I feel like Dark Souls still has horrific enemy design that could be in a horror game. So is that kind of, I'm not saying that Dark Souls is going to be considered a horror game decades from now, but will that add to like the surreal atmosphere of Dark Souls at all in times to come, instead of the visuals being something that are dated to it? I don't know. There's something kind of nice about the lighting in Dark Souls as well. I feel like Dark Souls has the best lighting, especially on like shields and metallic surfaces. It has the best lighting of any of them. This is a tough question, Justin W. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm doing it justice. It's a tough question. I feel like it's a trap to say anything from before 2000 is just a wash, and you're like, that's 3D, it's just a wash, but that's not true. And I had this experience when I wasn't going to say this because it's kind of a spoiler for the Witcher video. I played a bunch of other games for the Witcher video. I finished 5 other games for it. But there were a bunch of other games that were older that I went back and played for just more than getting footage. It's to make comparisons. I played them for a few hours each, and some of them were older games that came out around the same time as Witcher 1. And I gotta say, like, it made me reconsider my position on games. I used to think that games have been stagnant for the past, decade-ish roughly, and there hasn't been a lot of progress. But I'll be damned, man, if like I went back and I played some of those old games that came out around the same time as Witcher 1, and I was like, holy shit, these have not aged all that well. Like, they're already kind of dated. They're already kind of like what? This is really how they were back then? This wasn't all that long ago, and it's still kind of really rough trying to get into this, Even getting it working was kind of difficult on PC for some of them, even though they're not all that old. So I'm curious if maybe if it's like boiling the frog again, that because we've been playing a lot of games over the past like 12 years or so, that we haven't really realized all the great changes that those games have gone through, because it's like it's been incremental. We haven't really noticed it. So I kind of feel like it might be worse than I realized, and we're still nowhere near getting to the level where we can safely assume that everything going forward is going to be able to be enjoyed for decades or forever even. Like, I don't know. That's a tough one. I also think it's a trap to just focus on the art style. Would you say Hollow Knight will never age because animation seems to never age stylistically, and the gameplay is simple enough that it will stay consistently the same experience as someone 10 years from now? Yeah, I think that's a prime example of a game that we can safely assume is going to be, or those are prime qualities that we can assume that, yeah, that's something that's going to be able to survive. I think Celeste is going to be able to survive. I think Super Meat Boy is going to be able to survive. Platformers in general seem to be very, very safe, but maybe that's because we're used to platformers surviving already, you know, like those games are still something you can play, whereas I don't really see many people saying, hey, I went back and I played the first Doom and I had a really good time, you know. It's not thrown out a lot. Or I went back and I played the first Deus Ex, you know, that's not really put out there a lot either. I went back and I played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, although I think those could survive too. Maybe it's just a popularity thing, maybe those are fine. I bounced off Fallout 1 and 2, that's why I'm surprised that Justin W brought it up as an example. I tried to play Fallout 1 and 2 before I played Fallout 4, and again before I played Fallout 3, and I just couldn't do it. Like, I just moving the character around, I was like, okay, fuck this. I just literally in the first like 10 minutes I'm like, fuck this, you know. Like, so I don't know what the answer is here. Was I just impatient, or is that a fair assessment of those games? I need to go back and play them, force myself to play it. I think I can get into them. But if you're forcing yourself, is that a sign that, you know, it's not really something that's going to survive the test of time if you have to force yourself? To link it back to The Witcher, because The Witcher is the world. A lot of people can't play Witcher 1, and some people can't play Witcher 2. But is that its age, or is it its presentation, or is it just game design that you don't really connect with? I think Witcher 1, surprisingly, no, I don't want to say it because it's is it really that big of a deal? Oh man, I don't want to say it. I've managed to get this far without saying it.
So don't say it.
Shit. I think the Witcher 1 is, I won't say it. I'll go in a different direction instead. Like, Witcher 1 is I think actually decent to get into. Like, it's, the problem is more about the story and presentation and the prologue in chapter 1. I think chapter 1 is actually really good, but you have to get over it. Like, so there's a part in the prologue where it's just awful, and then you get to chapter 1, and the intro to chapter 1 is just awful too, with the mother and the kid running away from the Barghest. And it's a really hard sell to tell people, hey, it gets better after the prologue, and then the opening to chapter 1 is just cringy as fuck and doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's just god awful. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, sorry, I meant it gets better after the first scene in chapter 1. You know, like, you have to get past the prologue and then the first scene in chapter 1, and then it gets better, I swear. You know, so you have to get past that and the awful gameplay. But I don't think the gameplay is awful because of the age. I think the gameplay is awful because of that's what they chose, instead of having typical RPG combat. Once you get past, sink into the gameplay, I actually prefer the gameplay in Witcher 1 to something like Dragon Age. I prefer having just, it's very simple, it's very straightforward, it's just this kind of quick rhythm game. You just get it done, and that's it. It just provides enough context for everything that goes on in the game in terms of story and fighting the monsters, and there's no bullshit that gets in your way. But I don't like those kind of games anyway, so I don't know. Like, I feel like Witcher 1 is kind of underrated in that respect. I think you can still play it if you get past the first, I don't know, like 2 hours maybe. You just have to get past those first 2 hours, and you have to just, it's not even about the gameplay and visuals too. Like, it's the dialogue. The dialogue is cringy as fuck, you know, like, you just have to get past it, and then it gets good, I swear. But it's still not, you know, fantastic and great. It just gets steadily better, and then you kind of sink into it. And yeah, I don't know. But Witcher 2 is more recent, obviously, and a lot of people don't like Witcher 2 either. They bounce off that, but that's again because of probably the difficulty of the combat. Man, I think I've waffled enough, Justin. I'm sorry. This is really hard to say. It's really hard for me to separate what I think is going to be what's going to be able to survive, and not just because of getting into it, but also because it's going to be something that's better. Oh, I need that for the community center. Good job getting the ghost fish. Like a game like Skyrim might survive for a long time, and people are still buying and playing Skyrim, but that's also because of the mods. But I feel like Skyrim is a game that's going to be completely overshadowed by the next game that does Skyrim better than Skyrim. You know, unfortunately Witcher 3 isn't it, but the next Elder Scrolls game might be it. That might do what Skyrim does even better. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, Skyrim still holds up, you know, you can still get into it, but why the fuck would you bother playing Skyrim when you can play Valenwood or elsewhere? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so sorry to just waffle and have no fucking conclusions for you, but yeah, I don't know. but hopefully my speculation had at least something interesting to think about. Time for me to get the controller, and you have to read out the next question.
Okay.
Do I have to tear it from your pineapple pizza eating hands?
No.
Well, here, let me pause it, and then you can read it, and you can have it back.
No, this one is for both of us. I can't think and play at the same time.
Okay.
This one is for you and Lily. Based solely on what I've seen on streams, you two seem to agree with each other quite often when it comes to your opinions on the entertainment that both of you consume. Are there any movies, books, TV shows, etc. in particular that you each have significantly different opinions on? Also, is my assumption that you two typically agree with each other on the art you consume correct?
So we read this out before the stream started today, and I just wanted to get Lily thinking about anything that we disagree with, because I was struggling to think of it. And I said this to her, and this is going to make me sound like an asshole, and I just want to stress that that's not how it is, but Lily agreed with it, so I just vetted it with her first of all. I have stronger opinions on stuff than Lily does. So when we both go see a movie, it's much more likely that I will come out and be like, oh, that movie was really good, or that movie was shit, and blah, 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 blah. And Lily will just kind of shrug and go, it was okay, and that's not me kind of like, Lily, you must have the same opinion as me. It's just that Lily's just kind of like, yeah, it was okay. She doesn't. You agree, right? You don't think about like the movies and stuff as much as I do.
You think about things like it's like a reviewer's kind of. You're looking for what's wrong with it usually, or what you like about it, and to be able to explain it. So I'm more, did I enjoy it? And I don't feel as strongly about that. Then it's, if you found something wrong with it, or you found something that they did really well, explain it to me, because I'm just thinking about how entertained was I.
And that's fair.
We get something different out of it.
I think
it's
actually,
like when we watch a movie and you try to figure it out, and I'm just like, okay, what's happening? I'm not trying to work out every mystery we watch and stuff like that.
But it doesn't always go that way. Sometimes it's like we watched what did we just watch? The Murder on the Orient Express movie, and I liked that more than you did. Mm-hmm. And I said I thought that was pretty good, and you were kind of like, eh, and I was like, whoa, this doesn't happen. So yeah. I would say that we generally agree, but usually when we watch something together, it's because we already know that we're gonna both enjoy it. Does that make sense? It's like, I feel like we're both gonna enjoy this, so we should watch this together. Mm-hmm. There have been TV shows that I started watching, and I get an episode or two into it, and I say, oh, Lily would really like that, I'm gonna stop watching it and I'll watch that with her. Whereas there's some stuff like I'll watch and I'll be like, yeah, she's not gonna like this, so I'm just gonna watch it by myself. And I think vice versa. That happened with The Americans. I started watching The Americans, and we never watched it anymore after that, but that's okay. And I was like, okay, Lily will really like this, I'm not gonna watch this by myself. I'll watch it with Lily. And like How I Met Your Mother, mm-hmm. Like there was Lily likes us to watch it together. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, whenever we watch that sometimes, although it's fairly rare. It's like, okay, we like that. The Good Place. So I think what you're seeing is that we tend to consume the same media only when we both agree that we're both going to like it. Books we tend to agree with on the most part. I would say that, well, Lily reads more than I do, but Lily would agree with this, I fucking hope. Lily reads a lot of crap. Yeah, she agrees. Okay, good.
Yeah, well, I do. But that's not all. Like, that's not... I like to rewatch and to reread things that I've read before that are kind of fluff, because I feel like I don't really need to think about them, and I enjoy them for a very simplistic reason, that a fluffy novel or Friends, like something that I've seen repeatedly that...
It's comfort. It's
comfort, and there's a quality in it that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. It's not a very complicated plot, it's nothing I don't have to think too hard about. So I like to read something that challenges me a bit, or something that's a classic, or something that's supposed to be very high on the charts right now as contemporary, or something to learn from. I'm still reading Sapiens. It's going to take me the rest of my life. And then I like to mix it up with something I've read before, most likely, that is easy for me. And it's pretty crap, but that's what I like about it. So those aren't the books that we're both going to read, obviously. Those are the books that I will read, and, you know, I'm not expecting him to ever read them.
I read some of them. I read that Almost a Crime book.
But I like that book.
Who's that by?
It's Penny Vincenzi.
Penny Vincenzi. Well, I would say that's kind of pulpy and kind of one step above kind of romance stuff. Or is that wrong? Is that like one step above Danielle Steele or no?
I would hope 2
Not
steps.
that you read Danielle Steele.
No.
But
my mom used to read her, though. I used to know all of the plots.
I thought it was okay. It was readable. It was.
Usually it's if there's something about it I liked. With that book, I liked how she told the story, like going from character to character, from their different voices. I thought it was interesting because it was very British to me, and the way that it was written, the way that she had them speak and everything like that. And I liked that there was a kind of mystery in there, but it wasn't really a mystery. You know, like there were qualities in it that
it wasn't the focus. Yeah.
That I liked. That I was like, hey, read this. Do you think this is any good? Because then I get ideas for my own writing. So usually when I ask you to read something that I've read already that is not, it's not Gone Girl. You know, like is not very acclaimed. It's usually because there's something about it that I'm trying to emulate. You know, for my own writing.
Mm-hmm.
So. And it happens with music, and it happens with movies and stuff too, right? Like there's a lot of music that we agree on that we both like, and there's a lot of music that I will say you listen to as shit and you will say that I listen to as shit, and then there's a whole other realm of music that is just I don't really have an opinion on. It's fine. I don't really like it. I'll play it if you're in the room and like it comes up as a suggestion on YouTube or whatever, but I won't listen to it by myself. You know, but we don't really agree on it, but we don't disagree on it either.
Yeah,
we're just kind of neutral.
Music might be one where we disagree more often, but I don't think we disagree that much. But maybe it's just that if I know that you don't really care for that music, I don't listen to it when you're around. I usually listen to music with headphones on anyway when I do have some time to listen to music. And when you listen to music, it's there are certain bands that you know I don't really like all that much, and you don't play it all that much. I try not to play them, when you're there.
Yeah. And if there's a song that comes up that I do know you like, even if I don't really want to listen to it, a lot of times I will play it.
Yeah.
Because you're there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that we really disagree with on, and I don't know. Huh. I've never really thought about this, Justin. Thanks for pointing it out that we usually agree on things. What's like something that you really, like a show you really, really love, and I'm like, this is dog shit. I hate this so much.
Well, I like, but again, they're sentimental. I like Dawson's Creek and Gilmore Girls.
But I don't think those are dog shit. Like I don't like them, but I don't think they're dog shit.
It's because where I was in high school when I watched them, and it makes me feel like, you know.
Dawson's Creek is probably the worst one.
Oh, they're teenagers, you know, like. There's something comforting about watching it again. I don't watch it because it's great writing or anything.
Dawson's Creek is pretty bad. That's the biggest discrepancy right now. Like Gilmore Girls, for as insufferable as it is, has pretty good dialogue and can be funny. So I'm not gonna say that Gilmore Girls is definitely a tier above Dawson's Creek. I mean, I think that if I watched Star Trek, you would hate it, and you'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" But I don't even really like Star Trek, and I haven't watched Star Trek in a long time. You took me to the
Indiana Jones movie that time, and we saw a Star Wars movie that time. It was Indiana Jones, wasn't it?
We watched the new Indiana Jones movie, and we watched Star Wars together.
And I didn't like either of them.
The Force Awakens, and we watched the what's the new Indiana Jones. I didn't like them either, though.
But we went because you thought like it was more your thing, right? It was like it was your pick.
Yeah, it
wasn't
like me
picking
like
the breakup.
Yeah.
You know, like. It was like we used to pair off on like we used to take turns when we used to come to movies and stuff before we had kids, and we actually went to these things.
Mm-hmm.
And but I went because it was a chance to go out on a date. Pretty much, we went for dinner, I think, and we had popcorn. So I'm not going to turn down a good meal and popcorn just to have to sit through Indiana Jones. You know, like it wasn't a big deal. Like,
what is this festival right now? Sorry, continue. Stardew.
Something about a night. Spectre or something.
Is it the Halloween one, or is it the Harvest Festival? No, it's the Halloween one. Okay, so we don't need to go and take some stuff with us to this festival. Okay, Cringedom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, that was pretty bad. What game have you played that is closest to a masterpiece? That's a tough question. Most recently, Code Vein. Now, I think Undertale is a masterpiece, or as close to a masterpiece as you can get. I think Portal 1 and 2 are probably masterpieces. There's a list I have somewhere that I said, but I don't really think about games all that much. But yeah, I like with masterpiece status. But I think the most recent game I played is probably Undertale.
Again, like you talk about video games, and I can't relate to them, but I still listen to you talk about them, and you bounce ideas off me for these videos and stuff, and I try, like it's not like I tune you out or you feel, I guess, that you can't talk to me about it, because you do. You came to those concerts with me too. Mm-hmm. And you don't like her very much, Tori Amos, but you came with me.
Yeah, but I can still appreciate the artistry that she has. Like I'm never gonna say that Tori Amos is like, I don't really care for most of her music, but she has some songs that I'm like, holy shit, this song fucking rocks. Like there's some songs that she has that are really good. But I'm not going to sit there and say, like, even with her bad music that, she's not talented or anything. I can definitely understand it. Whereas I think the question is more about, like, okay, I fucking hate this and she really likes it. Yeah. Or
I'm just trying to think, like...
Or vice versa.
Stuff that we don't exactly share the same opinion on, but we still tolerate with each other. We still get something out of it.
There's got to be something. There's got to be a book that we both read and I was like, wow, this is bad. And you were like, I liked it. And I'm like, what? No, maybe we're just too damn agreeable with each other, Lily.
Like, even if you watch something sci-fi or something, like, I don't really want to watch it, but I understand why you do. So you just go watch it by yourself, like it's not...
I guess the biggest one is Firefly. I really like Firefly, and I got you to watch the first episode a long time ago, and you were like, I don't really like this, and I was like, wow. But I was like, okay, like I wasn't expecting you to. I think that's probably the biggest one.
We haven't watched it in a long time, but I have one.
What is it?
It's Fight Club.
You liked Fight Club.
I liked it well enough.
Yeah.
But you love it.
Yeah, I love that movie. And
so maybe that's it.
Maybe.
But then I still see kind of why you like it.
Yeah, and you did you secretly hate it and didn't tell me?
No, I just...
It's coming out.
I remember not being able to follow it at times. I think we watched it twice, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched it twice. Fight Club is overrated. I can see why you think so. The reason why I love Fight Club so much is because of who I was when I watched it. I can see why you think so. I think any movie that has that sort of reputation is always going to be overrated. There's no way any movie can live up to that.
Gone with the Wind?
I like Gone with the Wind. I was like, I was a little bored. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bored, but...
That was early in our relationship.
Yeah, but I could understand it a little bit more, One that we both... Oh, man, chat's going to hate this. Oh, man, should we say it?
We never finished it,
We didn't even finish it.
Maybe
we were so bored. Maybe we would
like it if we finished it.
Lily and I...
We agree on that again.
Yeah, we agree. Lily and I don't like Scarface. We didn't even finish it.
If Seth is here, he's really mad right now. We didn't finish it. And I like The Godfather, so it's not like it shouldn't be... It should have been my thing, but it wasn't my thing.
We both like Friends. You like Friends more than I do, but we both like Friends. Just so you pissed off like one person in chat. Really? Scarface isn't that beloved? Really? Man. I thought it was.
I like The Godfather so much that when I was a teenager, I had a huge movie poster framed of Marlon Brando hanging in my room, where he has the cat. That's how much I loved Godfather.
Sorry,
and those kinds of movies, like the mob kind of mafia movies.
I have chat to piss off to make up for that, because apparently that wasn't enough. Okay, here's one that is really going to piss you all off.
Wait, hold on. And it broke when we were moving. And my dad was supposed to fix it for me like 10 years ago. And now we don't talk. So I'm never getting that fucking picture back to hang up in our house.
I haven't even seen The Godfather.
Yeah.
There we go. Haven't even seen it. Who's mad? Who's mad now? Have I made it up?
I love Tom Hanks. He's probably my favorite actor.
Tom Hanks isn't overrated, no. All these people haven't seen it either? What the fuck? Wow, maybe I have seen enough movies. Everyone I've ever spoken to has always been like, there's, like, you haven't seen that movie? What the fuck? Have you not seen that movie? I'll probably love it. Yeah, I think I probably will. I know how to quote it.
The chat is comprised of people who watch anime, not movies.
Moki Doku Madonna Ball Z Anime Witch Girl Academy is shit. There we go. You guys mad now?
Do you like anything that's like that?
What do you mean?
Like anime-esque? Because I don't like anything like that. Because I never got into that kind of art, I think. So I don't really care for movies that are or shows that are not like that. So
I told you,
maybe we disagree on that.
The only anime that I've ever genuinely enjoyed has been the Pokemon anime when I was a kid. And I tried to get more into anime. I told you a story. I told Chad it too. And I tried to get more into anime, and I found out that when it was on at night, and I like woke up, like I was staying up, and I went downstairs, and I was like, okay, this is the anime channel. I found it. I'm gonna try and get into anime. I was like 14 or something, and I was watching it in like in the middle of like 2 a.m, and I'm there, and like it switched over to like there's just anime nudity. There was just boobies on the screen, and I was like, what? And then I turned, and that's when my sister walked in the door and was like, what are you watching? And I was like, oh, red alert, get the fuck out, turn it off. I'm never watching anime again. That's what happened, you know, like.
Okay, so we don't really differ. Okay, 90s
and I was like
music.
scared off. So
90s music, the stuff I play,
okay,
like
90s,
like Len and like.
That's it. That's the answer. 90s music. There's some of it that you play that I like, and I'm like, that brings me back. But there's a lot of it that I just fucking hate. So that's probably
and
it.
You've never once watched one of those birth videos with me.
That's true.
There you go. Like you were there. You know,
okay, let's answer it with that then. What is the biggest 90s song that you like that I don't like?
That you don't like?
That I don't like. Like, what is the song that comes on and you're like, yeah, this is a banger, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to die.
Dash away, don't knock it. It's not like you see anything. That I like, but you don't like. I don't know.
Okay, let's look at the top 90
I don't
hits.
know what you don't like.
Top 90s hits. By the way, chat, is there a term for if a song, does a song have to have vocals? Is there, like, is it an instrumental track, but if it's a song it's vocals? Is there a distinction for something that has, like, is there a term for that if there's, is there a distinction in music for that, or is it just all the same? It doesn't really matter.
I only listen to Creed, like, very rarely. I don't usually listen to Creed. Creed is like, it pops up as a suggestion, and like...
That might be it.
I don't really listen to them, though.
I hate Creed
feel like that's
so
a
much.
cop-out.
Okay, so here's the top 90s songs on Good Housekeeping. Best 90s songs. Smells Like Teen Spirit, we both like that one. Baby One More Time, we both probably like that one. Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
Do I know that one?
You do. I don't really like Oasis all that much.
I love Vogue. Do you like Vogue? I think I can say all of the lyrics in Vogue.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Shoop by Salt and Peppa.
Never cared much for Salt and Peppa.
It's Oh So Quiet by Bjork.
Oh, I've played that one.
Yeah, that one's alright. Night Swimming we both like by R.E.M. Wannabe by the Spice Girls. I don't like the Spice Girls, but they are catchy. They can get in my head. This is How We Do It by Montel Jordan. Cut Your Hair by Pavement. I don't know that song. Supernova by Liz Pear. Yeah, I don't know that one either. Damn. Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I like that song. I like the Smashing Pumpkins. Stay I Missed You by Lisa Lowe.
Just like a one-hit wonder.
Girls and Boys by Blur. I don't know that Blur song. Damn. Buddy Holly by Weezer. That's 90s? Ooh? 94? Holy shit. What? That's not even like borderline. Oh, fuck me dead. I don't know any time in the 90s. Fucking hell.
I don't know if I know Juicy.
Juicy by Notorious B.I.G. Criminal by Fiona Apple. Creep by Radiohead. I like Creep by Radiohead. Basket Case by Green Day. Alright, let's just go back and listen, see if there's any song that'll jump out at me and be like, yeah, you love that song.
Closing time. Oh, I like Mr. Jones. I play that one quite a bit. Do you like Mr. Jones? November Rain, The Sign.
It's gonna be Gwen Stefani solo.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Her first album. That's what it's gonna be. That's the only one I know. You love that, and I really don't like.
Well,
that
I don't
album.
love all of it. I just especially love What You Waiting For.
I think that's
was a great video,
That's
too.
what it's gonna be. I can't think of a better one right now. This list stops at
Alanis
30.
Morissette.
She's all right. Do you ever wish there was Google for yourself?
You said that the
Do you
other
ever-
day.
yeah,
I
do you
thought
ever-
it was really.
Do you ever
really
wish
something.
that you could just Google songs I like? And it'll tell you, like books I've read. Oh, there it is. Like that's fuck man, I wish there was that. Oh, Killing Me Softly. That's a great song. Torn. I like Torn. Ray of Light. Don't like that. 1979. That's a good song.
Genuine. I don't know a lot of these.
I don't know a lot of them either. The hipsters 90s.
Oh, you don't like Bittersweet Symphony?
No, I like that song.
I thought you didn't like it.
Yeah, it's okay. I like that song. Oh, Paranoid Android by Radiohead. That's a good song.
Yeah, maybe Gwen.
I think it's Gwen. I think it's Gwen's solo album. I think that's the biggest discrepancy that we have. Okay, there we go. We answered it. There we go.
It only
Finally.
took an hour. There you
Yeah.
go.
Have you seen Whiplash? I saw it recently and became my favorite movie. I haven't, sorry. Somehow, for some reason, now I will not be surprised if both of you are like conjoined twins, but for a couple that are connected in the head. Oh, that's sweet. I feel like someone said that to us before.
Yeah.
Curious to see both of your opinions on Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams. They're pretty good. I like... Oh, do I? I haven't listened to it in a long time. It's like maybe I like Marilyn Manson's cover better than the original.
I like that song.
But the original's pretty good. I like it.
I like Tool, but not as much as him. I prefer A Perfect Circle.
There was always something creepy about Sweet Dreams and Made of Ease to me by the Eurythmics. Have you seen 1957's 12 Angry Men? I recommend it. I haven't seen that, no.
I haven't seen it.
I've heard of it, though, and I would like to see it.
Thunderstruck is a great song.
Yeah, it's a good song. I was kind of in the middle of a lightning storm.
Is that my favorite of theirs?
Don't know. Do you like my Angus impression?
Very good.
Yeah.
I loved watching them when they had the Stars concert.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar is just jumping all over the place. He was just amazing.
Haven't seen La La Land either. There's lots of movies I haven't seen. All right, so that was Justin W's question. Thank you, Justin W. All right, let's see. All right, go for it.
Alderana says, "Hello, Joe and Lily. I've been really enjoying the return to streaming. They're always fun to watch while I'm doing homework. I'm looking forward to the Witcher 3 video, but please don't feel rushed to get it out. I've only got one question for now. If you've answered it before, you can skip it. How do you feel about difficulty scaling in games? I'm thinking about the difficulty settings players can select from some sort of menu, easy, medium, hard. I feel like the games I've tried have mostly done this poorly. Most games I've tried just do their diffidently levels?
I think it's just supposed to be difficulty levels.
Difficulty levels?
Yeah.
By throwing health and damage modifiers around, which at the harder difficulties trends toward degenerative gameplay. I've played some high-end WoW, and their systems where harder difficulties have new mechanics and different timings, more frequent or new overlaps on old mechanics on top of health and damage modifiers, makes for more fun hard difficulties. How do you think game developers should handle different difficulties? Have you played any games that you think handle difficulties exceptionally well?
World of Warcraft, for sure. Okay, so this is a very tough question, so I just want to give the caveat at the beginning. I'll try my best, but this is a topic for a video. It even is a video that I've written, and it could be a full book even for something like that. See if the festival's ready. I think we can get a star drop for Halloween right now. We should definitely set it up so you can play next time. We can do co-op next time. I think it's 10. We have to do co-op. Okay, so this is why I asked the question: do all songs have lyrics, or is there a term for songs that don't have lyrics? They're just instrumental. Because I just wanted to know if there's a technical term for that I don't know about. So songs can have stories, but they don't have to have stories. Same for movies. They can have dialogue, but they don't have to have dialogue. They can use the mediums in that sort of way. So I think a good way of looking at art, or forms of art, or forms of media, is to strip away everything that you can before you're left with this has to be present for it to be considered to be X. So I think that what has to be present for a game to be considered a game is difficulty. It has to be there. A game isn't a game without any sort of difficulty. The problem is that difficulty has become this thing that is synonymous with you died in Dark Souls, whereas that's not what difficulty is. Difficulty can be something that you just look at and have trouble, but you still get it your first try when you're a kid and you're learning Mario for the first time, or when it's just a slightly difficult jump to make, or a slightly difficult boss that maybe you almost die on. There just has to be some amount of difficulty. There has to be resistance there for a game to be considered a game. That's how I view games, and I think that you can't have gameplay without it being difficult. That's what it has to be. You can take away stories, you can take away the graphics even, you can take away everything, but if you take away that, then it's no longer a game, it's something else instead. So I think difficulty is incredibly important. Someone in chat just said this, and it's relevant, that it's what Tool Biscuit once said, that a game needs to have some sort of failure state, a challenge. I disagree with that. I don't think it has to have a fail state, because I don't really think that fail state is all that well defined, but I would agree with that in theory. But what? Go back up. The house with chicken? Didn't Rise of the Tomb Raiders DLC have a house with chicken legs like that? Is that some myth I don't know about? That's a weird connection. Holy shit. Okay. Go up here. There's a secret path. Yeah. Anyway, so I feel like a fail state isn't necessary for it, or something like a fail state. So this is something I think about a lot, because it's something I want to add to the video that I made, that I wrote about this topic, which is that a fail state, I think, is often viewed as like an all or nothing sort of thing, in the same way that difficulty is often viewed as a you died Dark Souls thing, that difficulty has to be absolutely crushing, or else it's not, it doesn't count as difficulty. So I feel like a fail state is often viewed as you died, or a game over screen, whereas I feel like a fail state is, so in the is it Mega Man 1 or Mega Man 2, I can't remember, that has a series of blocks that will spawn and despawn, and then you have to make the jump during the timing of it. You have to like jump off of the one block when the before the block disappears, but before the next one appears, and then you have to land on the next one in the same kind of motion. You have to memorize it. So if you make like 4 of those jumps in a row, and then on the 5th one you mess it up and you fall back down to the first block and you have to start again, is that a fail state? Because to me, I feel like some games, like, that is a larger setback than dying in Celeste. So to me, that sounds like it's a failure on you, and that should count as a fail state. It doesn't have to be this black screen fucking respawn, it doesn't have to be that. So if you accept that as a fail state, and that is like a marker of whether a game has something, just a setback, or you lose progress, or you can't figure something out, at any point in a portal room, if because you haven't found the solution, are you in a fail state because you haven't flipped the fail state over to positive, then I think that would be something I agree with. At that point, yeah, it is that's a good marker of whether or not a game is a game, is if it has that or not. So to me, difficulty is are you leaving?
Can I?
No, go to the shop. Difficulty to me is the most important thing for a game to get right. And 1 second before.
I don't know what you want me to do.
No, it's okay.
I never play these ones.
It's
I never
okay.
knew about
I don't know if there's a star drop here or not. Gravestone, jack-o'-lantern recipe, jack-o'-lantern rare crow. I guess there's no star drop here. I think we have to give the golden pumpkin to Pierre. No, Lewis. maybe you sell it. Okay, I think you can leave. I don't think there's a star drop here. I can't remember. So I think the difficulty is the most important thing that you need to get right for your game to be a game. But again, I want to stress that doesn't mean it's like I'm breaking your fucking balls. This game's so fucking hard. Like, it doesn't have to be that. It can, like, a game can be a gentle experience in terms of difficulty. So the core of games to me that I view them are teaching and testing. So you teach the player, sometimes explicitly through tutorials, but sometimes it's better, I think, to teach them through just mechanics and like subtle gameplay cues. But I also think that a lot of game critique channels and game analysis channels have like a raging erection for that sort of thing, and think that anytime that there's a tutorial, oh my god, this is a fucking failure. And I feel like I fell into that trap a couple times in the past too, and I don't think that's right anymore. I don't think games have to have that. I think sometimes having a tutorial that says, hey, this is how you do this is fine. Like, that's not a failure on part of the game designer. It's just, hey, that's just how it is. We're just going to explicitly tell you how to do this. But I do think that it can be more interesting to have a something that the game is just teaching you something directly just by telling you it. So that's how I view games, are teaching and testing. So if you want to teach the player something and then test them on it, you have to understand that, and this is the hardest thing about game design, I think, that you have to understand that every single person that plays your game is going to have a different level of experience playing games when they come into it. You might have to teach them the entire language of your genre. You know, you can't just assume that, oh, everyone who's played this game is going to have played a first-person shooter before. You can if you want, but that's going to dramatically limit the amount of people that are going to enjoy your game. And if less people enjoy your game, less people are going to buy your game. You're not going to make as much profit, which means you can't go on to make another game. So there's this big incentive to have at least a little bit at the beginning that teaches new players how to play your game, so they can catch up, so to speak, and they can still enjoy it. Or you can have difficulty modes. The problem I think that a lot of games have is that they target too casual a player base because they don't want to put people off. They want to catch as many players as they possibly can that are going to have a good time, and therefore it's going to lead to more sales. But a problem I think that people have for viewing viewing difficulty modes is that even games that are known as to be crushingly difficult also have them. You know, like I hate the fucking narrative that is surrounded Sekiro, that is like, oh, Sekiro should need an easy mode, and then there's all these people who are like, no, it should have an easy mode, and then it's like this is the level that the game designers want it to have, and you need to play it. It has no difficulty options. And then there's like, yeah, it does. Shut the fuck up. It does have difficulty modes. You can just make it harder for yourself. It can go the other way. So the designers kind of like the argument that this is like the pure perspective, the pure intention of this singular experience that the designer wanted the players to have is just broken by the game itself, because you can make it more difficult. So if you can make it more difficult, why can't it survive being made easier? Dark Souls has an easy mode. It's called Magic. Dark Souls 2, I don't know what the easy mode is in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3's easy mode is apparently using a single longsword instead of using a big weapon, although I would argue against that. I think that the long weapons are actually, they do more damage, and you can hit trade more effectively with a generous amount of healing in that game. So it's just that the difficulty modes are kind of baked into your choices that you make, and I think that's a much better way of doing it. If you're struggling, go and make it easier for yourself. If you're finding it too easy, then try and make it harder for yourself. My problem as a game reviewer, critiquer, or whatever, is that I have this sort of like desire in myself to have a base run the first time I go through a game, and I just want to have it like, I want to play most games the way most people are going to experience them, so I have that comparison as a base to build on, and then I go in and play it on the hardest modes and the hardest challenge runs and everything that I can do. However, I'm trying to get past that a little bit, and that can lead to some frustration on stream sometimes, where I'm like no, I'm playing this game the way I want to have fun in this game the first time through, because I'm starting to think that maybe it's not that important anymore to have that to have that experience the first time through. But whereas like with Witcher 2, the first time I played it was on normal mode, because I wanted to have that baseline experience. But then when I got to Witcher 3, I was like, fuck it, I'm just playing on Death March. And the first 2 runs of Witcher 3 I did on Death March, and then I did the third one on normal mode, where I just like blasted through the game because I wanted to see certain choices, and then I was like, I don't need to play it anymore. It doesn't really matter. Although the difficulty mode doesn't even really matter much in that game. And anyway, I'm losing losing track. I think that it's more interesting to have the difficulty baked into the player having choices. But what World of Warcraft does really, really well is that not only what World of Warcraft did really well in Wrath of the Lich King, and I don't remember it being done in Cataclysm, maybe a little bit. Maybe they do it in the challenge mode runs and the raids nowadays. Like, they do have added mechanics in the hard modes or mythic or whatever the fuck it's called now. But what Wrath of the Lich King did really, really well is that it baked the choice of turning it onto hard mode into the encounter itself. So not only was it something that you could decide to make more difficult for yourself, it was contextualized. So a big one is that there's a robot in Ulduar in Wrath of the Lich King named XT something. And every 25% of the robot's health that you deplete their health bar, the robot's mechanical heart drops out of its chest and dangles between their legs like it's like a dick and balls. And you do as much damage to the heart as you possibly can. But if you kill the heart, then it makes the boss go into hard mode, into this enraged mode, and it's a choice that's contextualized in the fight itself, and now you have to do it on hard mode, whereas you can leave the heart alone, just do damage to it, and then that damage goes onto the boss's main health bar, and then you just continue to fight as normal. That's how almost every single fight in Ulduar works. It has an optional bit of complexity, an optional thing to activate during the fight, and it was really, really good. It was fucking awesome, and I really enjoyed that part of Ulduar. It's my favorite instance. Maybe Throne of Thunder is a little bit better for the ones I've played, but I really like the idea. It's really interesting, and it's a choice that you make without having like this big difficulty select at the beginning. But to answer the question in another way, the problem that the designers face is that it's really hard to know what difficulty a player should choose, and it's also really hard to know on the player side too. When a player, like when I booted up Jedi Order to play it for 5 minutes, I looked at the difficulty options, and it actually has some pretty good indicators of what the difficulty option is going to be. But even then, I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, well, should I play this on Grandmaster, Jedi Master? Should I play it on hard, level 3 hard or level 4 hard? I don't know. Like, what's going to be better? Can I change it in the middle of the game? If is changing it in the middle of the game just like admitting defeat and failure? Like, I'm not that kind of player. I don't want to have to go through that. Fuck that. I want to stay on hard mode the whole time. There's just something about like pride too, and that's where I think that people focus on Sekiro and Dark Souls, because there is no option to turn it down to easy mode in like admitting defeat. It's more like okay, I'm gonna go make this incrementally easier for myself a little bit at a time, and that feels a lot more natural and more like getting prepared and feeling like you're going into something more experienced and making better decisions, rather than just, yeah, I went into the Skyrim menu and I turned it down from legendary to normal for a bit or adept for a bit because I accidentally leveled up my smithing too much, and now every single Draugr in this dungeon is an Elder God tier Dragon Slayer and has more health than I could possibly ever do, no matter if I'm godlike at dodging all the attacks and everything. So I feel like it's very difficult, but you kind of have to have that because you have to accommodate to your different levels of players that are coming into your game with experience. So it's sort of like, what level of experience do you want players to have with your game, and what level of experience do you want players to come into it? And you have to know those numbers in your head, and then the difficulty modifiers should adapt to those too. So I think I described it in the script that I wrote. It's on Patreon actually, but it wasn't turned into a video yet. It's sort of like a net. So if you want to have a level of difficulty of, say, by the end of your game, you expect players to have mastered your game by 75 out of 100. That's all the mastery you demand. I would say that's probably where Sekiro actually lands at the end of it, funnily enough, that you've conquered 75% of the game systems. There's still margin for error, you can still make a lot of mistakes, and getting to full 100% mastery is done in the hard mode with the charm active or deactivate. I can't remember if you activate it or deactivate it for the Kuro run in hard mode, or the new game plus mode afterwards. I would say that's where you go up to 100% mastery. You only need 75% mastery to finish the game the first time through. So is is that something that you can manage with modifiers and make it a little harder for players that are really experienced with the game to get to 75% mastery by making the timings a little tougher, by making there more enemies, by having more damage, more or less damage that you inflict. Sometimes it's better to have enemies die faster on harder modes, but also you die faster too. So it's more kind of like Katana Zero sort of thing, where there's a lot more tension. You have to be a lot more precise when it comes to dealing strikes, but also receiving strikes. I feel like more games don't take that mode as often as they could, and I think that's an interesting way that games could take it. But you kind of want that moment where players hit resistance and they have to start really focusing down on learning and mastering the game systems. You want that to hit, and if you, it's like a net that gets progressively tighter as you go through the game, and players that are really efficient and experienced with those games can slip through the net until they get to a certain point, whereas players that are not so experienced get caught in that net right away, and then they have to learn it much earlier on. And I think that's fine as long as the learning experience can catch people up throughout the game. And so a difficulty modifier would be like changing how that net works for different kinds of players, and you don't have to really commit to learning until later in the game if it's on easier, but you still want players to get to a relative level, equal level of mastery, which I'm probably not explaining all that well because it's really hard to talk about, you know. Like it's I feel like a lot of game designers don't care about this sort of thing. They just, or they don't consciously care about this sort of thing. They just think, okay, well, here's the fight. We're gonna have them master this one, and then the next fight is going to be a little tougher. But sometimes they fail to match up with how players are learning. I think we can all think of a bunch of games where after like the fourth boss, maybe, or maybe depending on how long it is, maybe like halfway point, the game actually gets easier than it was at the beginning because your level of mastery has overrun the expected level of mastery of you that they wanted for this level. It's like at every major level they expect a 10% increase in mastery until the end's goal of 75. But if you are take the systems really, really well, or you're coming in with a lot of experience, you know, you're starting at a base 20 and by the halfway point you're already at 60, you know, that sort of thing. So I think that's what game designers should keep in their heads. What is the expected mastery? What do I want to get there? And how do these difficulty modifiers change that for not just for people who are struggling with the game, but also for people who find it way too easy? Because that's all it is, really. I really can't think of a single game that doesn't have some amount of difficulty modifier to it. That there is no game that I can think of that says, no, fuck you, you need to 100% master this game no matter what you are, and it's this, and I want that to be the same experience for every player that comes in. Like there's always some kind of tweak. I would say the closest thing I can think of is like I want to be the Boshi or whatever, like that one, but that's just memorization. So yeah, I don't know, like I feel like every game can make difficulty modifiers work, and I think it's just a really fucking big cop out when players say, no, this game doesn't have one, this is the intended experience. It's like, no, like I really feel like it's somewhat born of elitism and they don't get it, or they feel like that kind of game is under attack and they don't want it to be made really easier because that's the kind of games that they like. But it's like, no, that's not really what it's about. I think for most people, some people, yeah, some people are just really shit at games and they have no interest in learning and getting better, but they still want to play games for some reason. Maybe they enjoy the stories and everything else about it, and that's fine if that's what they enjoy doing. But asking for games to change for them outside of difficulty modifiers is kind of crazy to me. But I still think those difficulty modifiers should exist. It just shouldn't take over the entire game. But if Dark Souls 4 came out and it had difficulty choice at the beginning, I would be a little disappointed because I would rather that be baked into the game itself like it was in the previous games. But I wouldn't like throw a shit fit, you know? If I went in and it turned out that the game was nothing like the other ones because of this, okay, then maybe I'd be like, okay, this wasn't implemented well, they could have done it better. But I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine, you know? But yeah, that's all I can say about that. And that was a long waffling session there. I hope it made some amount of sense, Alderana. I was thinking more about if difficulty modifiers are enough sometimes. Are there better ways to do harder and easier difficulties than just using modifiers? Well, the choices are the one that I think I spoke about. Choices for sure. Stripping mechanics away. Like I think that difficulty modifiers are good for that kind of net perspective. Like you're getting caught in the net and the player's in the net and you want to have the net kind of like catch players and tighten around them at a certain point in the game. So those, like say you want halfway point of the game like halfway point in the game, it doesn't matter what genre it is, to be like this, amp it up, holy shit, fuck you, you really have to prove yourself in this fight right here, and after this we're going to test you really hard on everything that we're teaching you up to this point. That's where difficulty modifiers can come in and be like, okay, we really want to make sure that experienced players get that same experience in the new one. So if you're bad at games and you play on easy, this fight is still that, this fight is still that moment of like fuck you, you have to learn. But it's going to be a breeze for people that are really experienced. But we also want the hard mode to be like that for really experienced players at the same time. That's where I think difficulty modes are coming in. I don't think it should be, we need to make sure that these are difficulty modes so everyone can see the content at a nice pace and a breeze. No, it's like we have this intended difficulty challenge and we need to make sure that these modes are tailored for different kinds of players that can appreciate them. But outside difficulty modifiers, I really enjoy it when hard mode adds more mechanics, but I almost want to know that ahead of time. I want to know on the difficulty mode select, hey, hard mode adds more mechanics to bosses and fights, because I want to play it on normal then to see what it was like on normal and then play it on hard mode, so I get to play the game twice, pretty much. That's where World of Warcraft was really successful in Aldor as well, and the raids now, because they add new mechanics to the raids and hard modes now, is that you basically get to enjoy the fight twice. The first time where it's still difficult, but there's a part of it's missing, and then hard mode where it's like, oh, now we fight the real fight and we get to learn it all over again with this added twist. You know what I mean? That's what I like. Did you ever use Crosscode's difficulty modifiers? They work kind of like Celeste Assist mode, but less game-breakingly easy, in my opinion. No, I didn't look into it, but I heard that they were pretty well done. Fury had that? Yeah, Fury had that. Yeah. Ooh, it's winter.
I didn't realize it was.
That survived. What happened? Whoa, that's a bug? Damn. Huh. I've never seen that happen before. What about Cuphead? It was criticized for the same thing? What do you mean? What was Cuphead criticized for? I don't remember, sorry. Can you tell me what Cuphead was criticized for? Have I seen Treasure Planet? No, I haven't. What did you think of Death Stranding, Lily?
I didn't watch enough of it.
The turntables have turned here, huh?
I didn't watch enough of it to really have a fair opinion.
Can you do two things for me?
Yes.
Can you take a pumpkin and 5 gold star pumpkins and the ghost fish to the community center? And can you go and see Clint and get the golden axe?
Okay. It didn't look interesting to me. I wouldn't have wanted to play it.
What did you think? Because I got you to watch this. What did you think of Donkey's Metal Gear Solid story?
I loved it. I thought it was really funny. And I say that knowing nothing about the games.
She paused it when he said a vampire kills her. She paused it and went, what? And I'm like, and then I said to her, nothing he has said so far has been a lie.
Where are your gold pumpkins?
In there.
I didn't see them.
Up here.
Oh.
And you need to take 1 normal pumpkin too. It's in the same one.
Where did I put your fish?
How are the two of you doing? We're doing okay. It might have been up here in that one.
Did you put it there though?
I might have put it there, yeah. We're doing okay. We're getting a little tired now. I think we might call it here. We might do one more. How are you doing? You getting a little sleepy?
But I'm not exhausted yet. I had that big coffee and then a tea, so I'm not too bad. Where the hell did I put that fish?
I really like God Hand Resident Evil 4's modifiers, more even Resident Evil 4 since it just doesn't tell you when it does. I don't remember Resident Evil 4's modifiers. What's that?
We don't know.
I've never seen that before.
Really?
No.
I've had that before.
What is that?
It's like you're not supposed to know. It's like one of those spook things.
I have never seen that before. That must be one of their updates. This game's getting an update on the 26th. Curious what's gonna happen. I disagree, Joe. What do you disagree with, Axon 589? I can't remember what I was saying back then. Hollow Knight has some difficulty modifiers. I know for sure you hate the seems like you're dying a lot. Would you like to lower difficulty thing? I love it actually because it's always funny on stream. I love it when it happens. Exactly. Resident Evil 4's difficulty changed on the fly after death without telling you. It's so subtle you didn't even notice. See, I don't. Sorry.
I'm stuck.
I don't like that because I feel like the game is setting me down to a different, like, is deciding that I don't want to bash my head against this anymore, and is setting me down without letting me know. And I feel like players should consent to that if they want the struggle. Competitive difficulty modes, easy mode removes some difficulty mechanics from the bosses. Yeah, I think Cuphead goes a little too far with it though, and it can come across as condescending, but maybe not. Maybe it's fine. Thanks for the answer. I also greatly enjoy the hard mode kind of difficulty where you've done the thing and now you play the real fight. Getting to play twice is really cool, and oftentimes when it's just percent values that have changed, I don't get the same enjoyment from doing the hard version. Which examples are springing to mind since you've occasionally mentioned that game? Yeah, just occasionally. Well, I'm glad you like the answer. Ooh, that's a good one. Lily, if you could immediately acquire the skill to beat a game, what would it be? It wouldn't be easy, but you could do it. Bloodborne?
The one that I think
say Fortnite and we'll be rich. Because if you can beat Fortnite, you're suddenly the best
I don't
player.
even know anything about that. Celeste looks really hard to me.
Well, let me tell you something, Lily.
Yeah.
I have to hold your hand for this.
Okay.
You already have the ability to beat Celeste.
It was in me all along.
You can do it if you try. You
yeah,
can do
we'll
it.
See. Celeste or Hollow Knight. Those are the two I actually really would like to play.
I was really mad when I was struggling against Dante and Devil May Cry 4, and after I beat it, I saw I got a score reduction because the difficulty was lowered without me knowing. Felt like it robbed me the experience of learning to fight. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too. Yeah, I guess Resident Evil 4 does it all right because it doesn't tell you. But yeah, I would be upset going back and finding that out. I think it's quality crop. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So now we just need to do the artisan.
Just putting out fires all over the place there.
And we need to do another one, and then we get the overpowered greenhouse, right?
Did you get the minecarts yet?
No, I didn't.
I haven't been using them if you have them.
Oh, I do. I do have the minecarts. Yeah, they're active. Yeah. I generally want to watch Lily play Celeste Hollow Knight. Would you play Hollow Knight?
I would like to play Hollow Knight because I really like it. The look of it. I would like to play Dark Souls because I want to be able to say I beat Dark Souls.
Okay, so maybe.
And I would like to play Bloodborne because I think it's really pretty.
Maybe one night you can play one of those games, and I'll be answering questions, and
I don't know about that.
You can pause to ask them, and
in theory.
And they can watch you.
In theory.
But if you don't want to, you don't have to.
They're to me they're really hard, so.
They are.
I don't know if I would want an audience with that.
Thank you to the Rabbit of Doom for the 13-month resub. Hopefully you're still here. We were in deep answering questions when these came in, so sorry about that. Hey guys, hope everything's going well. Keep up the fun streams. Thanks, Rabbit of Doom. I really like your name. It makes me think of that Baldur's Gate 2 throwing a ball character every single time. Rabbit of Doom, thank you. Thank you, my Velo, for the 7-month resub, 7 months in the pickle jar. Thank you, my Velo. Thank you, Twig5 for the new sub Prime. Welcome to Prime Time. Welcome to the Dragon's Den. Thank you, Kimi Chi, for the 26-month resub. You were in the off-stream list, and I guess you could resend it. That's good. Thank you, Kimi Chi. 26 months in the Konnichiwa clan. Thank you, Kimi Chi. Beep. And thank you, Big Little Sloth, for resubbing right now. Thank you very much, Big Little Sloth. 2 months in the Rub-a-Dub Sub Club. We haven't said that tonight. Thank you, Big Little Sloth.
I'd like to be a gamer girl.
Rainworld had to lower its difficulty, and then at difficulty settings, they had to lower it because it was borderline unbeatable before. And before adding these settings, they lowered it again because it was still nearly borderline unbeatable. I beat it in this nearly borderline state. Oh, grats, Flexen. That sounds like pretty shit game design if it was borderline unbeatable. But it depends. Was it unbeatable because it was like the performance you had to give was too difficult, or was it really cryptic like La Mulana? No, don't say it. Did you see it?
I saw it.
Don't say it.
Oh shit, one of these guys. No, I never get these guys. Okay, that's a lie. I got one once. Fucker.
Lily born when.
See, you don't want to watch me play because I can't even get
No.
the fucking fish.
That's hard. It's a hard fish. Some of the fish are really hard to catch. Thank you, Ink Oet, for gifting a sub to Antenna. Oh no. Antenna Siovi Marie? Antenna Siovi Marie? Oh no. I'm sorry. Welcome to the mispronunciation party. Antenna Siovi Marie. Thank you, Ink Oet, for gifting out the sub. I'm so sorry. Can you say, I'm already Tracer?
Do I want to?
No, you don't. It was just need to be mastered beyond what the average person could have mastered the mechanics of it, and it was then super difficult still in the same way. I think the high difficulty in the settings is as hard as in the nearly borderline state. Damn. How do you cope with the pressure of lying in Scrabble? Do you think the possibility of getting away with lying is worth possibly losing Ripple word scores? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's all part of the game. Don't hate the player. I think it's all part of the game. I haven't played Scrabble in a long time. You were saying how people that say games should not have difficulty options and should be played how the designers intended are elitist. Well, I didn't say they were all elitist. I'm just saying I think it could be an elitist coming from an elitist place, and that I hope it isn't. Just that it could be. I think people have experiences with games that they really love, and lowering or raising the difficulty of games could cause someone to have a worse experience. I don't think it comes from an elitist place. It comes from wanting others to enjoy what you enjoyed, to enjoy what the designers made for the player. Okay, but it's sort of like difficulty modes. The way I look at difficulty mode, okay, I don't know if I didn't explain this well, or if the elitist comment was too severe. So it's sort of like difficulty mode should be sort of like colorblind mode. Like, it should be that difficulty modes allow every player to experience the intended level of difficulty that's suited to their experience and their level of experience, their level of familiarity with the genre, and have the same intended level of challenge that the game designer wants as someone who has more familiarity with the genre. Just in the same way that colorblind mode allows players that see colors differently to have a similar or close to a similar experience. It should be a realignment rather than changing it. The problem is that some players might just say, hey, they beat it on easy, but that still kind of happens with a lot of these games. Like, I get annoyed when people say Ornstein and Smo is a really, really easy fight, you just fucking suck, and then you ask them how they did it, and they're like, yeah, well, I just had my friend go and have tank Ornstein in the corner while I dealt with Smo. And it's like, okay, well, no wonder you found it easy because you were using a summon. Or I just cast magic and I just went in there with my Pyro Fireball and just wiped the floor with him. Okay, yeah, well, because you were using OP magic, you know what I mean? I feel like that can still happen, but it should be a realignment. But yeah, I do think that some people are being elitist. I won't disagree with that, but I'm not trying to accuse everyone who says that those games shouldn't have difficulty modes of elitism. I just hope that it's not coming from an elitist place for most of them. Oh, here's a question for you. Have you had any people find you on Twitch and then they discovered your YouTube? Yeah, quite a bit, actually. There might even be a couple in chat right now. Yeah, that happens a lot more than I thought. I never really thought that would happen. I think that everyone who ever watched me on Twitch would always come from the YouTube, and Twitch would never build the audience. You just changed my opinion on it. Really? Okay, I wouldn't. Don't say that just yet. Think about it a little bit more. I'm glad that we're having a productive discussion, but yeah, like that's how I view it, and I think that's probably a good line of thought to deeper discussion, because there's more to think about and more to discuss. I think for sure. Found you through stream highlights of Dango on YouTube. The stream highlights we got for that were pretty good. Do you not think the difficulty modes baked into player choices assumes level of player mastery? In order to choose and take an easier, harder route, the player must have both knowledge of these options and the effect those options will have on experience. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Yeah, it's a real big problem. I would say that there should be more stuff like Titanfall 2 had, and there's another game that had that too. I can't remember. Was it Deus Ex? Was the original Deus Ex that had a tutorial thing that suggested a difficulty for you at the end? Like I think that's a good first step, but it's not there yet. There has to be more than that. I feel like any player that comes in, and even if they're probably brand new at games, is going to come in and just not want to pick easy because they don't want to, like, oh, I don't want easy mode. You know, even if they're pretty much brand new, I think they're going to be resistant to that. So I think that is a time where it has to be, it doesn't have to be invisible, but I think it has to be presented in a more acceptable way. I don't know. But yeah, you are right. That is a huge flaw. That in order to pick the right difficulty mode, you have to have enough experience to know what difficulty mode you need, which means you probably aren't going to pick easy because you have enough you have enough of knowledge that it's going to be too easy for you just by knowing what the options are. So yeah. Possibility of an adaptive difficulty system. I think maybe if you could, maybe that's a way to do it, is that adaptive difficulty is the easy mode, that everyone starts out on normal, or like normal and adaptive are the same, but if you pick adaptive, it will get harder and easier as you go along depending on how proficient you are at it. Maybe that would be good. Maybe difficulty mode should be adaptive, normal, hard, and then maybe an option for very hard later. But yeah, I think adaptive is an easier pill to swallow than normal. That might be a good idea. But I feel like adaptive difficulty should be a choice. I think if you were a new player or a new person to games and you went through a tutorial and it had you fight some monsters, do a couple jumping stuff, and then at the end it said to you, okay, based on your performance, we suggest that you play this game on adaptive mode. I think adaptive mode is quite acceptable, especially if there's like a little line that shows up and is like, in this mode the game will react to how well you do, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like I think that would be an easier pill to swallow for some people. But yeah, this is one of the hardest, maybe it is even the hardest thing for games to get right. And I think it's the most important thing for games to get right too. Assuming that your game is compelling, you know, mechanically, like basic competency. That's how I view games. Like they are their difficulty. So this is like key to get right. Call of Duty does have them. That's it. I remember that in Modern Warfare with the shooting range that you run, right? The training range. Okay, I think that's it. Do you think we should move on to another question, or do you think we should call it here? It's past 3 a.m. We should probably stop, because if we start answering another question, we're gonna have to we might get into it. We might be here for another hour. I agree with the problem, but I prefer not to have difficulty options in games if possible. You mean like difficulty options that are in the main menu when you start? I think there's a better way of doing it. Yeah, I would prefer to have more elegant stuff than that, especially because the problem is that people aren't gonna pick them properly, and you don't know what it is. I don't think that's the best solution at all. Will you buy VR for Half-Life Alyx? It's apparently the index that I ordered is going to be here next Friday, so I'll try it out. Lily's already said to me that if I look up any VR porn, that she wants to see it too. So next weekend, Lily's going to be seeing some VR porn. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to mess around with it. To be perfectly honest, actually, I might not even unbox it until like a month before the Half-Life game comes out. I just wanted to get one to make sure I got one before it sold out, because they only just became available in Canada. So I feel like that's gonna sell out real fucking fast. But we'll see. I don't really have time to mess around with it right now. But the Alyx, I kind of had it in my head when they announced the Half-Life Alyx thing that I was speaking to. I don't know if he's here. Ilsaroth is big on VR games, and I speak to him about them sometimes. And like speaking to him, I made the decision that if the trailer came out for Alyx and it wasn't a tech demo, like if it was an actual game, then I was gonna get it, and I would get the index for it. And then the trailer came out, and I was like, oh damn, this is an actual game. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the, because I've been on the fence for a while, so I was like, okay, I'll go for it. There may be some VR cosplay videos. Yeah, but they look really weird if you watch them without VR on, right? Not that I would know, but yeah, I would imagine that they would look all fucked up. You got to see Boneworks on VR, Joe. I've seen Boneworks. Boneworks looks really good. I would like to play Boneworks. Seems like it might be a real challenge to communicate to players difficulty settings that aren't done in a menu. Like if a player accidentally turns it up or down the difficulty without knowing they've done it, that's a pretty big problem. Yeah. So I think there is a way to do it. I just think we haven't grasped it yet. I wonder what it is. I would like to think about it and see what would be the best way to do it. And maybe the best thing that we have right now. I think in the script I say that the best thing we have right now is Dark Souls. The best thing we have is options. The difficulty mode is baked into your gameplay choices, and you have options to summon someone or use a weapon that's easier for this boss, to turn the game into a game of knowledge instead of skill. Like I think you can beat every single boss in Dark Souls 1 except for maybe Gwyn with knowledge, by knowing they're weak to this. They're weak to this sort of thing that doesn't really require any skill to pull off. Gwyn is weak to parrying, but parrying is not the easiest thing to do. So I think maybe every single boss can be beaten that way, but maybe parrying is an acceptable kind of thing for that. I don't know. Adaptive solves almost all the problems if you can turn the system off. Some people love banging their head against the wall until you beat the game. Yeah, I think that might be a good way of doing it too. Having an adaptive setting and then turning that on or off. But even then, do you want it to be like crazy adaptive, or do you want it to be a little adaptive? Because if, let's say that in an adaptive setting, let's say every single time that you die on the boss, it lowers the boss's health by 1%, For someone who's really good at the game, after 10 deaths, like 1% is actually fairly significant. Sorry, 10% after 10 deaths is actually pretty significant for someone who is decent enough at the game that might just be struggling a little bit. But for someone who is just really bad and new at these kind of games, 1% is going to feel like nothing. In fact, they might not even really notice that that's something that's happening, and maybe they don't have to notice, maybe they just have to feel it, but I don't think they're even going to feel it until later on. But if you dial it up to, like, say 5%, if it's 5% after every single death, then someone who is just struggling a little bit, 5% is suddenly a lot every single death, right? So how do you get it right? You have to go home quickly. You don't have time. No, there's no time.
I have a minecart. I have transportation.
So what's it like playing Stardew Valley without having Finn in your lap? Is it nice?
It's a lot less critical.
That's not how I would design it.
Mommy, try not to get hit.
I don't think that is the best way of designing it. It's just, I'm just spitballing like the potential pitfalls of having the adaptive system feel like it's doing something, but also at the same time, if it does feel like it is, then it might be too severe. But if it doesn't, then it might not be enough for players to feel like they're getting through it. They still might be discouraged and end up turning the game off and declare that it was too hard. I would put checkpoints on in the background where the game would analyze the player's performance and would adjust the next checkpoint accordingly with mechanics added or subtracted. If you're off of that though, or there's a difficulty spike, that might end up with new players getting stuck at a checkpoint forever. That is a good idea though. I think I would just tweak it a little bit, but that is a good idea. If you can, and it depends on what the difficulty curve of your game is like, right? If it's curved really well and it's only like a little different from each section, then that could work. But yeah, Anyway, I think we're going to call it here, guys, because we could just continue talking about this forever, and Lily just ticked over to a new day. So thank you very much for the Q&A. Apologies for not answering too many questions. There were a couple of big ones here that we spoke about for quite a long time. I think next week we're just gonna try and fly through the rest of the questions. I don't think there are any other really big questions left. Maybe one or two. Let me see. Tiger V's questions are a little, like, those are a little in depth. We can talk about those for a while. Banjo G's question's okay. then after that, we're pretty much in the home. Oh, Micah W's questions are fairly long. Okay, maybe we're gonna have to have another night.
We weren't gonna finish. I don't think we'll finish next time.
We might finish next time, maybe, but maybe a little bit of time after that,
I think we'll have one or two left.
Then we can open the
maybe
questions
we'll push
again.
through and finish.
Okay, so a reminder: if you want to give me information about Minecraft and setting up a Minecraft server for us to play on during these Q&As, and also to just keep it going, indefinitely, I guess, if that's something that you'd be interested in. I know nothing about Minecraft, so give me information, give me options for like what server I can set up and the modes and settings and everything. So yeah, let me know. Send me a message. You're not going to be bothering me. I just found, scroll down. I just found your Twitch and I'm so glad you're streaming. I want to tell you so badly that your videos reviewing games is so inspiring to me. Oh, thank you. Chizui? I hope you're saying your name right. Chizui?
Chizui? I don't know.
I don't play games and spend hours watching reviews after reviews of your videos. I'm going to study in university soon and I'll be studying in game art. I have not much interest in game, but after watching your videos for hours, I do now. I'm so sorry this isn't a question, but I've been wanting to tell you this for a while. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a question in chat. Thank you. That was a nice message. Thank you. I wish you all the best with university. Your wife said my name right. Thank you. They call me Kevin 285 286. Oh god. Okay, time for bed. I didn't mean to wait that long. For the resub for 9 months. Hey Joe, just stopping by to say hello. Long time, so. Okay, I think something's cut off here. Just finished the Death Stranding stream, and it was great. Happy late birthday. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Or at least they call you Kevin. Thank you very much. 9 months in the Waifu Warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Waifu Warehouse. Thank you very much. They call me Kevin. Hope you enjoyed the Death Stranding memes. All right, so I'll see you guys next weekend. No, I won't. I'll see you on Tuesday. We're going to be playing Jedi Order on Tuesday, and then next Q&A next weekend. And that will be that. All right, see you guys later. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye, you guys.
Oh, also, let me know if you would prefer these to be on Saturday instead of Friday. If you don't care, that's fine. But if enough people want them to move over to Friday, we can see if Friday's a better day. Oh, sorry, Saturday's a better day. Maybe next weekend it'll be Saturday, and we'll see. But anyway, see you guys later.